day, same story, same spin. You dress up the rumor like it's evidence, then grin. You point at a case, say look at that man, but you don't got a screenshot, don't got a plan. You talk about a white car like it's some smoking gun, but every single detail falls apart one by one. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray, every word you throw, someone pays, we gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Fog lights blazing, you still mumble in the haze. Goofy gray static, every channel, every day. You shout, I got proof, but your pockets stay bare. Just echo in an alley, just dust in the air. Just another idiot, storytelling every day. You build crooked houses out of things you can't say. You sell loaded rumors like they're holy signs, while family sits shaking on the other side of the line. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray, every word you throw, someone pays, we gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. How many names gotta fade off the page while you chase fake ghosts in the secondhand rage? We want hard facts, not your costume show. Turn the cameras to the damage, let the real story glow. Let the real story glow. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray, every word you throw, someone pays, we gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Standing on a hey, I saw some. Drop dead thunder, heavy on the low end. Blue crew coming through, say it once again. Fizzy, sassy, Casey, mama bear stand tall, Brandy B, Tandy, Tomboy Zelda on call, the last 24, S.A.B. Ratch locking that feed, Molly Drake in the back with some speaks when we need. Watching over us all while the chaos climbs, scroll by scroll, they save our timelines, yeah. Blue Crow, do it their way, moderating all the mess, keep it in play. Trolls beware, they don't ever care, running this shit, making everyone aware. Blue Crow, do it their way, shut it down fast when it goes sideways. They don't blink, they don't break, they just swing, hit the lead, make space. Moonlit, baby roll, crazy's chaos in control. Cat K, Bonnie B, flip a switch, clean a scroll. Lucy Morning Star, Meg, P-Guard in the gay, Randy Farley, a story, set it all straight. Keep it in line, yeah, they do it all the time. Naming blue, that's a warn, better walk that line. Walk that line. Blue Crow, do it their way, moderating all the mess, keep it in play. Trolls beware, they don't ever care, running this shit, making everyone aware. Blue Crow, do it their way, shut it down fast when it goes sideways. They don't blink, they don't break, they just swing, hit the lead, make space. Typically unique, every mind, every name, different style, same flame, same aim, same game. From the first ping to the late night call, Blue Crew on the wall, watching over us all. Over us all, over us all. Blue Crow, do it their way, moderating all the mess, keep it in play. Trolls beware, they don't ever care, running this shit, making everyone aware. Blue Crow, do it their way, shut it down fast when it goes sideways. They don't blink, they don't break, they just 1960 on the clock face, 4 a.m. bleeding through the blinds, phone glow, floor cold, heart race, can't tell the truth from the lines. Bethany says, can we go home? I laugh, but I'm not alright. Everyone kind, everybody jokes, nobody sees frostbite. Pretty much at 4 a.m. my brain says it happened, I don't know when. Thought it was a dream, but I knew it was a lie. Only thing I don't know is why. Can't tell right from wrong tonight. Bethany wants to go, I hold too tight. Everyone is super nice, but nobody knows my soul is cold as ice. Fake crying in the bathroom glass, red eyes, but I'm still dry. I talk big, then I walk it back. Can't look myself in the eye. Pretty much friends and such around. Must have been drunk, but I ain't drank. Hate the way my words fall down. My lies hurt people, I think.
Moscow quiet, streets so clean, but behind that shine, what does it mean? Sirens sing through a shadow dream. They tell you it's nothing, but nothing ain't what it seems.
Nothing ever happens, that's the mantra they preach. But the truth hides deep, out of sight, out of reach. Smiles painted thick like a coat of the sea, while the ground stays steady, but the air smells of heat. 4 lives gone, whisper sharp as a knife. Heads on a swivel, dodging lies in the night. Underneath the stars where the halos hang thin, governmental chaos creeps under your skin.
Eyes in the dark, ears to the wind. Nothing ever happens, but they're reeling you in.
Nothing ever happens, or so they say. Keep smiling in your face while they plot the decay. Truth in the shadows, lies in the fray. Nothing ever happens, till it happens today. They play chess with our lives while we're pawns in the game. Heads roll, metaphorical, sometimes for real. A knife in the back's just part of the deal.
Moscow quiet, streets so clean, but
Coffee's bitter, like the names on the screen. Faces flicker, but they never come clean. Every headline feels like one more scam. Whole damn system built on sleight of hand. We've been patient, boiling over, tired eyes, late nights, fighting sober. Every story points the same way. Every road sign says somebody pays. True Crime Cafe, we're seeking truth. Day goes, want answers, we're coming for you. Crooked as hell and you laugh in our face. Darkness covered crimes, we light up this place. All we want cafe built for this task. Let's get to it. Shut it down fast. Shut it down fast. Backroom whispers, paper trails gone cold. Kids grow older, carrying what they're told. Questions piling like cups in the sink. Every dirty deed closer than you think. Dishonest and backwards, twist every word, but we've got the screenshots we've already heard. You can bury the proof, but you can't hide the past. We're knocking on doors, coming in late. Bagels want answers, we're coming for you. Crooked as hell and you're laughing our face. Darkness covered crimes, we light up this place. All we want is justice, that's the only ask. Dago in the cafe built for this task. Let's get to it. What's up, this all fucking crazy out there, right?
A true crime cafe, they go to softballs. Cold brew, cold case, chalk lines on the gloss.
Seeking the truth, finding the time. Files on the counter, grind with the grind. Blue crew backs him, keeps him in line. Sirens in his pocket, eyes on the sign. Got a wall full of faces. String tied tight, every red pen circle, another long night. True crime cafe, where the real ones bleed. Busting these cases till the lost get free. Gotta find answers, gotta make time. Everything will be fine if the truth aligns. If the truth aligns. If the truth aligns. Open the bullshit, praying low real. Knuckles on the table, fighting for the next meal. True justice far out of view. Smoke in the doorway, what else can he do? Hoping he can answer just a few names in a notebook, voices breaking through. True crime cafe, where the real ones bleed. Busting these cases till the lost get free. Gotta find answers, gotta make time. Everything will be fine if the truth aligns. If the truth aligns. If the truth aligns.
All right, partner. Welcome back, everybody. The cafe is open for business. I hope you're all having an amazing day today. Happy Monday. It is great to be back with you guys. We are heading into Idaho again. Past and present information. What is it going to mean for the future? Eddie's going to be joining us today as we break down some of this stuff, old stuff, new stuff, what stuff, you stuff. Who knows? It's going to be interesting. Everything's interesting when it comes to Eddie. So he will be joining us today for this part 2 of what we started off with him the other day. I'm looking forward to it as well. So we will, yes, we've never left Idaho, folks. We may travel off to Tucson, Arizona here and there and a couple other places, but we're always in Idaho. So you know how that goes. So thank you all for being here today. If you see Miss Kim from Typically Unique, you better make sure you tell her happy birthday today. She is having a birthday, and you know how we do that over here, guys. Make sure you tell her happy birthday, please, and thank you. Thank you to my moderators that are joining me today. You guys are amazing for taking time out of your day to join us over here. I do appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Thank you to um, my producer, my videographer, all of them that make this happen day after day after day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. And thank you to all of you that join us in here, that jump in the sauce, all you beautiful meatballs, and all you other people that jump in here and hang out with us. You guys are amazing. So thank you for doing what you do. Just being you. It's all that matters. It's all you got to do. It's all you got to do. So thank you again. Thank you, Miss Meg. So, guys, if you will, make sure you share this out. Hit that like button, please, and thank you. And that being said, let's do this thing. Here we go. Here we go.
Neon lights flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with a restless rage. Justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the True Crime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hunt the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the True Crime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the brave. At the True Crime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay.
right, all right. Welcome back, everybody. Great to see you all here again today. I hope you're having an amazing Monday, and I hope everybody's happy and healthy. It's beautiful out here today. Too bad I'm stuck in here, but it's well worth it since I get to hang with all you beautiful people. So come on in, grab a seat, get comfortable if you will. Today, guys, University of Idaho murders, past, present, and what does it say for the future? We're going to be joined by Eddie. We're going to go into part two of a discussion we had 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I think, 2 days ago. It's great to have him back in here as he put together some things in his mind that he, of course, broke down and wants to kind of discuss at this point. I'm very excited about it. Always happy to have him here to discuss his thoughts, feelings, theories, and opinions. So that's what we're going to be doing with this today. So make sure you share this out. Make sure you please, if you will, hit that like button. Get yourselves comfortable. Let's get into this mess, guys. Let's see who we got here today. Looks like Sluther75. Welcome back. Always great to see you today. Carrie's Gold. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to see you. Megastars in the house. Our megastar herself. Great to see you, Meg. Karmic Retribution. Always happy to see you. Thank you for joining us. One's in the house. What's up, buddy? Great to see you. Miss Rowe, welcome, welcome. Great to see ya. Cat K, welcome back to you. Crime and Chaos, Miss Lori, great to see you. Let's see here. Teresa, great to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Meg. Guys, if you're interested in a True Crime Cafe t-shirt, coffee cup, hat, sweatshirt, hoodie, whatever the hell you want, you can get it from that link right there in our merch shop. Go check it out if you will. Let's see. Moonflower Loss is in the house. Good to see you, Moon. Thank you for being here with us again. Rebecca Seidner, welcome back to you. Let me see. One made nut. There he is, right there. Eddie, if you check your email, I dropped a link for you, buddy, in your email. Sorry, I should have said something sooner. Mussin65. Hello from Denmark. Welcome. That's awesome. From Denmark. I love it. Mamakins, good to see you. Biz Mamakins, thank you for being here today. Who else do we have here? Miss Rowe, Miss Meg. Let me see. Do. Lizzie Turtle Balls. Always happy to see you, Miss Lizzie. Thank you for being here, Becca. Good to see you today. Buffalo Chick, welcome back. We got a lot of green in here, guys. That means we got a full pot of meatballs jumping in with us so we can spill that sauce today. Let's see. Again, make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribe. Double check and make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube's been making some messes back here. Chihuahuas in Crime, great to see you. Lexi Sec, welcome to you. And hit the notifier that way you don't miss anything we talk about today. Hey, Taylor, good to see you. Michelle Weddle, great to see you. Jacqueline Keeley, great to see you. Let's see here. And the first Noel. Good to see you, Miss Noel. The last 24, my producer in the house, as always, excited to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. Beach Babe, great to see you. Yeah. Pretty sick stuff out there, Mamakins, I know. Skilla, good to see you. No, you don't have to apologize. Sometimes people just aren't who you think they are. Pretty sick stuff. Bush Sheligan, I think I said, welcome, good to see you. Right Turn Clyde, great to see you. Tiny True Crime Mama's in the house, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. I think a lot of people were Mamakins. is understandably enough. I know I was, but unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Very sadly, not a good thing. Not a good thing. Come on in, guys. 79 people, it looks like, in the house. 49 likes. Please hit that like button and share this out if you will. I have LM Minty, something we may review at some point throughout today, depending on how long it takes us to get through all this stuff. Yeah, because that was an interesting video Harsh put out. Taram Lee, welcome to you. Good to see you. And he was here. Come on in, everybody. Grab a seat if you will. A good question. That's probably a good idea, Lizzie, because there's a lot of people that have been unsubscribed, unfortunately. Here we go. There we go. And welcome, my friend. How are you today?
Oh, I'm having a great day. The weather is really nice.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful.
Happy Monday to you, to everybody.
You too. You too. Yeah, it's the first time I think I've seen a solid day of true sunlight, and it is 65 degrees outside, you guys. I haven't seen that in months, and it's wow. I got windows and doors open. I'm super happy about it. Put you in a good mood, you know. Did you go out did you get on your bike today and take a ride?
Yes, I was out. I got some exercise. I got into the sun. We have really nice sunshine for once.
Same here.
I have a funny story. I was accosted by one of my neighbors. Yeah, it's kind of a, annual springtime thing where you see a neighbor for the first time in quite a long time because everyone has been snowbound and hibernating all winter. I'm in Minnesota, by the way, so it's pretty brutal in the winter time here.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, he was out, I was out, and of course stopped and say hello for the first time in many months, which is very common. But this neighbor is one of those types, I'm sure everyone has one in their life, that can hold the floor all on their own, conversationally wise. I'm sure you know.
Yes.
He talks nonstop. He talks about everything without any natural pause between subjects. It just switches from one thing to the next, and without ever stopping for breath. You don't get a chance to say anything, nor are you expected to. I just smile and nod, and that's adequate. Because if you do try to say something, he won't allow you to.
No, they shut you down.
Yeah, so that goes on for about a half hour until he finally grows tired of it and has to do something, and his time requires him to be elsewhere. But meantime, you're stuck there, and of course, you're afraid to say anything further lest you invite any more of his conversational powers to be unleashed.
Yes.
So that kind of stopped my exercise a little bit short, but it's kind of at least that's out of the way. I don't have to do that.
I swear it goes. This must be like just worldwide, because my neighbor that lives on this side of me, and I live out in a place where other than right here, your nearest neighbor's like a quarter mile down the road. So as soon as the sun comes out and it's nice up to be outside longer than 5 or 10 minutes, I can hear him coming. Every year it happens the same way of like what you just said. I hear his mower coming down the road and I'm like, oh no. And he's probably 70, 75 years old. He actually was born in the house that I live in, and now he lives 3 houses that way. And no, it's 2 houses. I'm sorry. I forget about the bushes in between. So anyway, and I'll be sitting outside on the front porch, smoking a cigarette, just taking in the weather, here he comes. And it's like he has radar on me, and I've tried to go inside he'll yell for me. I seen ya. You ain't getting away. It's almost like he knows what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
without knowing what I'm trying to do, but he knows, and he does it in a joking way. And I'm like, oh well, yeah, I was trying to get away. Ha ha ha. Little do you know, I really am. But anyway, he,
Right.
he pulls up my driveway in his mower, and he's like, "Beautiful day, isn't it, Joe?" It is. It is. It's good to see you. What are you doing? How was your winter? Because we don't see each other at all throughout the winter. He doesn't come out of the house.
Right.
Um, it's good. It's good. I tuned up the mower. He says the same thing to me every year, Eddie. The exact same words. It's like a script he's reading. And it sounds good. Change the plug out. Filled it up with some clean gas. I'm not going to be cut. And he says the same thing. I'm not cutting the grass for another month or two, but I got it up and ready. And he runs up and down the road talking to anybody he finds outside is what he does on it because he can't walk very far. So
He's just happy to be talking to somebody.
he is because he doesn't have any other. His wife, I think his wife is bedridden, so he doesn't get any interaction with anybody other than maybe his children. So he just excited, super excited.
You don't have to say a thing. He just happy to be talking and being listened to.
Right. Yeah, absolutely correct. So I'll have a good, I try to keep it to a half hour, 45 minutes, but sometimes it goes an hour to an hour and a half sometimes because he just talks. And we talk about the same thing every single year about my house, what he remembers about it, the things that have changed about it, how well we're taking care of it, all sorts of things. And I'll just listen. I'll even offer him something to drink, and usually he'll take a bottle of water or something. And then at some point, just like you said, he's like, all right, I got to run. I got people. How does he say it? It's meant to be in a funny way, and he always messes it up. People to be in, places to meet, or something like that. I'm like, okay, buddy. It was good to see you, Steve. Good to have you back out again. I hope you get to get out here and do all sorts of things, all that kind of stuff. We talk about gardening, all that. And off he goes, starts the mower back up and puts on down the road to the next house. So it's the same thing. As soon as you brought that up, it reminded me immediately of my conversations with Steve. It's great.
Yeah. By the way, this is a different neighbor than the other neighbor that some of you are.
This isn't neighbor.
With.
We know that other one as just neighbor. So
yeah, just neighbor. I won't give any clues or identity towards the gender because if just in case that neighbor is listening, which I really doubt because this is an open-minded channel, but just in case,
yes.
I don't want to leave any clues as to if I'm, in their mind, if I'm speaking about them. So
yeah. I see you, Meg. Of course. Absolutely. Yeah, I think for a little while we're going to keep this just me and Eddie up here for a few minutes, at least for a bit, guys, so he can get through what he wants to get through with his part of things. And then after the fact, once we get through that stuff, we can bring people up for comments and so on and so forth. So
yeah, this won't take too.
All right. So welcome everybody. It looks like there's 90 people in the chat here. 63 likes, guys. Let's see if we can make that match. But yeah, it's just going to be Eddie and I up here for now. So Eddie can get through what he wants to break down. And then as soon as we get through that, I will bring people up here for comments, discussion, so on and so forth, guys, just so you guys know. That way Eddie doesn't have any distractions or anything and he can break down what he wants to.
Yeah, I kind of, as I've said a couple days ago, I kind of have put together something I want to present and it has a natural flow and rhythm to it. And I kind of want to stay like on track so that what I deliver, what everyone experiences is to the best quality and benefit for, everyone joining.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. And again, it won't take too long to get through it all.
It's all good, buddy. Good to see you, Josie. Lucy's saying hi to you. Let me see what else we got. Crud Dog, good to see you. Karmic, Chevy Metal, welcome. Just trying to catch up with everybody else real fast. It came in on the second flow. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, you guys know. Court RN, good to see you. Again, if Miss Typically Unique, if Kim pops in here, guys, make sure to wish her a very happy birthday. Today is her birthday. Turning 29. First time ever. That's awesome. I think I got everybody. Yes. So in relation to what we're going to discuss, this, of course, is the Idaho 4. I titled this the best way I could based on what I have an idea as to what Eddie wants to talk about. Past present, and what it does for the future. I guess it's a good title. Noni McPoppins, good to see you. Because Eddie's going to be discussing some things that have been in some other videos. Some of it's probably from the past, some of it may be present, and we'll see how it may affect the future of this case as we get into it. Beach Babe, good to see you. I wish I was turning 29 too. I wish. Tomboy Charms in the house. Good to see you. All right, guys. 96 people, 64 likes. We're getting there, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. Miss Josie Joe's in the house. Good to see you, Josie. I think I did get everybody I'm pretty sure.
While we're waiting for more to join us, just a little, because we haven't spoke since November 2nd, I believe it was. So we had an entire winter go by.
Yes.
Without any catching up, but just to share about that winter, it was just brutal. It was cold.
It was very bad this year. No lie. It was very cold. I'm sure, because I know where you're at, Minnesota. You guys get dumped on anyway, but we got dumped on. We had a lot of snow all at once, and it stayed because it was so cold, none of it would melt. I'm sure you guys probably went through worse than we did.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can testify to this as well. The older you get, the less tolerant of winters you are.
It's so bad this year, guy.
I know.
I'm telling you, it is bad.
And what a reversal of, like, I don't know if it's everyone's experience, but I can remember when in my youth, if someone were to ask me, how was your winter? I remember many times with the mindset of it just sucked. And the reason for why it sucked would just floor you. It would be because we didn't get near enough snow, and it wasn't cold enough as it should have been, because the snow that we did get melted too quickly, and the winter could have lasted a lot longer, in my opinion. But when you get older, it's just like, the question isn't did the winter suck? It's just to what degree did it suck?
Yes, that is. And like you said, I used to be that guy that could wear shorts all winter long, all summer long, because I like wearing shorts. Well, 51 years old. I get cold from the inside out now, and when that happens, it's so almost impossible to warm up. I don't like dealing with the cold, icy, wet. I used to be that person that was like, "You guys are going down to Florida. You can't handle this. This is crazy. You're weak." Blah 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 blah. Guess who? I'm now that person. So yeah, the older I get, the harder it gets. I'll say that much for sure. By the way, I just got this piece of info thrown at me. Says MPD is currently assisting the Latah County Sheriff's Office during this incident. Traffic is closed on Carmichael Road in Moscow due to an ongoing incident. Please find alternate routes of travel. Residents in the surrounding area can take either Palouse River Drive or Linville Road to Highway 8. Updates to road and incident status will be made on our social media pages. It doesn't give details. It just says incident. So, thank you, Meg. I may have to check out their webpage to see what is going on now in Moscow. And the fact that they're only claiming an incident, they didn't say an accident or anything else. They just said incident. So, who knows, guys? Who knows? I will definitely be looking into it, though. I know, Beach Babe. It sucks. Aging, I would give anything I have right now to go back to being 25 years old again. Literally. It was probably the best I ever felt in my life. So, okay. I do have an update on that real quick here. We should have just about everybody in here we're going to have, and we can get kicking with this stuff here. But beforehand, it looks like Bubbly, good old Bubbly, put out somewhat of an update on this situation, saying 2 hours ago, and not sure if still ongoing, Palouse Road was very busy down to Carmichael. Apparently, SWAT mobiles showed up there for an ongoing incident. Carmichael Road, shortcut back road that travels past several Thompson properties, Apex Storage, T-Wolves, and Lions properties. It's a road that tagged heavily on my land guide app maps. I'm very curious of what's going on, as am I. It's one of MM's paths of travel as well. Things that make you go, thank you, Bubbly, for that. And yes, guys, so we have a SWAT situation going on in Moscow, which it's not a normal thing. So something's going down. Hopefully we will get more info on that as the day goes on. But Micro Blue, good to see you. Noni, congratulations and happy Dagoversary on 33 months. We love you, Noni. It's always good to see you here. And thank you for being such a big part of this community. We do appreciate you. Don't worry, MPD has handled this handled everyone. I bet they do, Meg. I bet they do. Wow. Interesting stuff. What do you think, Eddie?
Oh, we might want to take a look at that later.
Yeah, I think we will have to for sure. Definitely. Very interesting. Thank you, Bubbly, and thank you, Miss Meg. So, all right, let me get into my email and pull up some of these videos here so we can get this stuff moving. Is there an order, Eddie, you want me to pull these up in?
Yeah. I mean, if that is meaningful and useful to you, the order would be the first one we'll look at is the JLR video.
Okay, gotcha. 1 minute. Let me get.
Do you want me to continue with the order, or I'll just wait for you to say next?
We can just go one at a time. That way I don't mess anything up because
Okay,
I'm not
the
quickest person here. Hold on.
You guys are all wondering, what are we doing?
Yes.
The surprise.
Yes. Always.
And I haven't even told Dago. It'll be a surprise for him too.
I have no idea, you guys. Nothing.
4 videos. What are we going to be talking about?
Yes, I have zero idea. So
it's going to be fun. It's going to be I think a necessary conversation, and I think it's a conversation that many of you want to have, and maybe have wanted to discuss it for a long time, and we have discussed it in our own way in the past, maybe even several times in different ways. This will be, just taking some old information and re-examining it like through a new lens. A couple days ago, we were scratching on some of the talking points that really stem from it. And it really does kind of combine into just many things that are necessary discussions with this case. So there's a little prelude of kind of what it is.
Most definitely. I do agree. Most definitely. So
let me know, Dago, when you're ready to start, once enough people have joined us and we can begin.
Definitely. I definitely believe that it's good to go back, especially now with newer information being released and put out to the world. I think it's definitely good to go back and relook at certain things that may have a different meaning now than they did a year, 2, 3 years ago, even at some point. So yeah, I do fully agree on that.
I'll tell you when to press play. Right now, I'll just
don't worry.
Get into it. Should I begin?
Let me check something real quick here. Make sure.
You might want to, and it's up to you how you want to do it. Pull him down while we're going.
Okay.
Initially, that's kind of a distraction.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Congratulations, Mussin. Thank you for joining the sauce. We appreciate you. New Meatball and the Sauce guys. Please make sure you welcome them as we do everybody. And High Heels and Henny, welcome to you. Scully's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Gang. I think I got everybody that's here. Looks like there's 99 people here, guys. Please make sure to hit the like button. This is what I heard. Good to see you. All right. And all right, Eddie, go for it, buddy.
Okay. So, like I said, this is stuff that we have seen very early on in the Idaho case, and we're just going to be trying to understand it completely. I used a word a couple days ago on Dago's live stream. The word was grok. Remember that, Dago?
Yes, I do. One of our AI friends out there.
Yeah. So, by the way, because that's really what we're going to be doing today is grokking this information. And I think that requires a little bit of a sideline. We got to explore what exactly that is. And by the way, the vocabulary word grok was kind of it was kind of introduced in this case, popularized, if you will, by none other than Get a Clue. Maybe some of you recall that.
Yes, I do remember that.
My meaning isn't that he coined the phrase, but he was a very intelligent man.
Yes.
And
very intelligent. Are you there? What happened? Something happened. Can you hear me? Thank you, Moto Man. Appreciate that. Something happened. Eddie disappeared vocally.
Am I back?
There he is. There you are.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I think I have to have my peripheral vision on my phone screen, because if it starts like going dim which is like an indicator that it's gonna shut off, then I need to like tap, and there it did it again.
Gotcha.
So okay.
Thank you very much, Moto Man, for that. Says Dago, what's happening? Watch the replay of your show yesterday. Great stuff. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Number one towards our goal. And go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we were talking about grok and Get a Clue.
Yes.
Okay, so because that's really what we're going to be doing is we're going to, like I like to do is, unlike my neighbor who can go and talk about everything and
right,
without any resolve, just bouncing from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And it just like it immobilizes, paralyzes my brain. I have to like look at something and look at it thoroughly. So because that's what we're doing, I want to share with you a little bit about this word grok.
Gotcha.
It's fascinating, really. So who coined the phrase is Robert Heinlein in his 1961 science fiction novel, Stranger in a Strange Land. So he wrote this book and he invented a word and then he gave it a definition. And it has like stuck in, it has become infused, I guess. That word has infused into the American language as one of the commonly used vocabulary words that everyone now accepts. And that is very unusual. I mean, you try it, write a fictional novel, invent your own word, give it a definition, use it in your fictional novel, and then have it become so popular that it is embraced and accepted as common language. That is, good luck. So just that alone is kind of enough to spend a moment and appreciate. But let's look at the definition real quick. To understand intuitively or by empathy, to establish a rapport with, to empathize or communicate sympathetically with. So you get the general idea. It's just to understand something fully. And that's what we're going to do today. And by the way, this is another thing that I just learned today. So I think many of you will also learn it while I share this. It'll only take a second, so we might as well talk about it. When I looked up in Wikipedia, grok, I learned a new word. Has anyone ever heard the word neologism? It is the definition of that is a neologism. Let me click on it. It's any newly formed word, term, or phrase that has gained popular or institutional recognition and is becoming accepted into mainstream language. Now, the irony here is that for many, many years, I knew what grok meant, but I've never heard the word neologism, which is a part of the American language. It is an established word, but the irony is I've never heard of that one, but I have heard grok. So that's worth sharing. That's worth observing and wondering about. I hope you were all as fascinated about it as me, because that's interesting. But anyway, moving on.
Definitely very interesting.
I want to, because I like to have everyone like interactive and participating if they
for
can.
sure. Yeah,
I think a lot of people enjoy doing that too.
this community is good for that too. So yeah, absolutely.
The other day I had mentioned, the fragility of memory. We're going to experience that today. I'm going to challenge your memory, and you'll see that we've forgotten a lot about this case. But before I do that, I want to invite everyone. I want to ask a question. It's a poll. Just put like number 1 if you believe this. And the question is, put number 1 if you believe Kaylee and Maddie always slept in the same bed just as they had done since they were little girls. Dago, you don't put your answer. You can answer, but don't put it right away if possible.
No, I'm going to actually let them do that, and I'll run a poll on it because it's actually an interesting poll question.
The poll would be like, let's not poll. Let's because that's anonymous. So everyone.
Oh, okay. I got you.
This is not a trick. There's no judging here. You're not going to be graded. Feel free to answer, and the more people answer, I think the better the results. So no pressure. And again, the question is put 1 if you believe Kaylee and Maddie always slept in the same bed, just as they had done since they were little girls. And if you don't believe that, if you think that's a bunch of nonsense, put 2. Dago, you can answer in a little bit, but we don't want to because you're the show's
right.
the host. You have influence whether you know it or not.
Exactly. See a lot of the answers that I actually expected to see.
I'm actually surprised what I'm seeing.
I'm so tired of those calls. I kind of expected it, Eddie. I'll be honest with you, because I think from this discussion happened at another time about this. I think a lot of people, I expected to see that.
We got a smart bunch here, and I just gave it.
Yeah, they are very smart. Again, and that's why I think they like to be interactive as they do. So yeah, that's kind of what I expected, and it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Dang. Well, we're done. Then that's our show, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And you guys are great.
Right.
That floors me. I thought there was going to be an even balance, but we're still going to go through this because it needs to be said.
And basically, guys, yeah, it just shows that most people never believed that they because it was a statement made at one point. I'm not going to tell you who said it because I'm sure you guys know that they always slept in the same bed together, just like they did as they were little kids. So
I'm going to bring us back there. We're going to revisit that right now. Do you guys remember when we first learned that?
I'm trying to.
Anybody with a guess?
I think it came from Mr. Steve himself. I can't remember when, though. That's the problem.
Roll tape. Let's play the JLR video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where to go? Come on. Pop up for me here. Where's it at? There it is. Nope. Wrong one. Hold on. There it is. I have them all lined up over here. I just picked the wrong tab.
We don't have to necessarily listen to the whole thing. I'll kind of like speak when we've seen enough.
All right.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am covering the tragedy out of Moscow, Idaho. 4 college students brutally stabbed inside a home during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. Police have made no arrest, haven't identified any suspects who did it. The father of Kaylee, he just recently spoke, and he shared some information that has not been shared to the public. He was talking about his daughter, Kaylee, and Madison. I want to share that with you of what he said, and then we will discuss.
And every day they did homework together. They came to our house together. They shared everything. They convinced us. They made a proposal to go to high school, to a regular high school. So then they went to high schools together. Then they started looking at colleges. They came here together. They eventually get into the same apartment together. And in the end, they died together in the same room, in the same bed. And it's a shame. And it hurts.
He said Maddie and Kaylee
Okay, there you go.
the same.
All right.
So, guys, that was November 30th at the candlelight vigil. That is about a month before the arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
To the day. Yeah.
yeah, consider this, because this is important. Well, first off, in a PSYOP, it is necessary to have the actors saying it. The agency will never say it themselves, or else it loses its effectiveness. Everyone agree? Does that make sense?
Sure. Absolutely.
Pretty basic. That's basic. There's no deep thinking to know that. So yeah, we were told a whole month before the PCA came out. And why? Why were we told that? The detail about Maddie and Kaylee being in the same bed is a detail that would only have been known to whoever they were who committed the crime. And notice, I want to make it a common practice rather than saying, in a singular manner, whoever it was that committed the crime, whoever they were.
Yeah.
Because it's harmful to perpetuate that falsehood that one person did this crime.
Of course.
So anyway, just sharing that thought. But moving on. So only the people who did this would have known that, and details like that would never be shared by law enforcement.
Of course.
In any real case where there is evidence of posing bodies, there is no possible way that they would release that to anybody, especially the family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember that the prosecutor told Olivia Goncalves that there was postmortem and experimental injuries.
Correct.
So 10 days before the candlelight vigil, there was a press conference. Angela Palermo of the Idaho Statesman was there. She asked the question, where the victims were located on the second and third floor.
Right.
And Chief Fry wouldn't answer it, citing it as a key piece to the investigation. Throughout all three press conferences, the media had consistently been shut down when asking their questions. The answers being vague, or the answers refused to be given at all due to, what did they cite as the reason? The integrity of the investigation.
Right.
So here we have the Goncalves family disclosing it to the public.
Mm-hmm.
They're sharing it very publicly, which means that they would likely have been instructed to disseminate that.
Mm-hmm.
For the purpose of getting it out there. And that is also a pattern that we have seen in this case, this leaking through sources. It has already begun.
And this was barely even out of the month, or at the very end of 2 weeks into this, basically. Yeah.
Right. So it is either they were instructed to leak it out, or at least they were deliberately not told to keep it classified.
Right.
Which I believe the former, not the latter. In other words, they were told to leak it out. Maybe they were even given some of the script to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who knows?
And it does make sense, you guys. As I've said, that I truly and honestly believe that Christy and Steve were used as a tool in this to help to ride the propaganda train out on this, to make sure that people know from the very beginning, as we're stating here, 30, not even 30 days into this, what the story is. So yeah.
And by the way, they go, just a little bit of housekeeping. The next one we'll look at is the 48 hours.
Okay, got you.
It'll just be a couple minutes out of that entire thing.
Yep.
But I left off with, maybe even the agency wrote some of that speech for the Goncalveses. Notice this. Notice how effectively it was delivered. Steve didn't just come right out and say it. He built up to it using repetition.
Right.
I want to share a little bit of what I mean by that.
Welcome
a little bit of a sideline, but just takes a moment because it's important.
No problem.
So the repetition technique used in public speaking has long been used as an effective speaking tool. Why does it work so well? It reinforces, there's the purposes for memorability. It emphasizes, and there's persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
We all know historic examples of the powerful impact the use of repetition in speaking has. There's Winston Churchill's "We shall never surrender, we shall fight" speech.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I have a dream" speech.
Of course.
So those are just a couple examples. Is the clever speech writing proof that the found in the same bed narrative in that portion of the speech was written by the state? No, it's not. But even if it was the truth, you'd never find out from the Goncalveses or the state. You'd never hear them admitting to it anyway.
Of course.
This is just more to ask the question and to get it on the record that someone has considered it. Maybe we're striking gold. Who knows? By itself, it doesn't prove anything. But when trying to understand something thoroughly and uncover a mystery, it's necessary to look at everything, and nothing should be overlooked.
Right.
So, for what purpose? Why did the Goncalves family disseminate that information?
Yes.
Anyone?
I mean, let me say this too, guys. There's nothing to gain from putting that information out there other than that thank you, Lucy, that they're trying to create a narrative that these are two very close friends. That's the only thing you can take from it at this point. So again, as he's saying, any guesses as to why they put that information out for many of you guys?
Probably several. There's many good answers,
Sure.
Not just one answer.
Thank you, Blue-Eyed Butterfly. Number 2, Towards Our Goal, says, this is fun. I love the questions for all of us to get involved in. It's always a good time. Yes, I agree.
I think it is to get ahead of it for damage control.
Whoa. Oh, boy.
If the public first learns of the fact that Kaylee and Maddie were in the same bed when they released the PCA, it would be problematic. There'd be many difficult questions and skepticism.
Got you. And I got something really interesting to follow this up with, Eddie, when you're done, that Lucy sent me. You're going to get a kick out of this. I don't want to say get a kick out of it, but it's going to be interesting to you. I'll just say that much. Go ahead, bud.
So if the Goncalves family comes out with it, with the explanation as to why Kaylee and Maddie were found in the same bed, then law enforcement doesn't have to fight that battle. The battle is already won.
Right.
Who would ever dare question it now? If you look, and we don't have to do that today, but if you're interested, notice the comment section of JLR's video. I don't think there's, I perused through it. I don't think there was one person who dared call BS on it. Most of the commenters have even created ways to affirm it and normalize it.
Sure.
Some of the commenters even attack JLR for making the video.
Of course. Of course. You
Shame
know how
on
this
you.
goes. Yeah. Absolutely.
This is the one rare occurrence where I'll back JLR up. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. He just made the video, but it is such a thing that people will attack, and they'll even get ahead of it. There's no reason for the attack, but the attack is already on. You know,
Right.
they're like they're drawing the line in the sand. Like, don't anyone dare even question this narrative, or you'll have hell to pay for it.
Of course. And that's how it was in the beginning with this, you guys. We couldn't question the families ever. As Lucy sarcastically pointing out over here to the side, nobody could talk about or question Dylan and Bethany. They were victims. We were all victim shaming. We were not allowed to do that, guys, for the first 2.5 years, and then we know what happened. But no, how dare us? Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, and what a novel concept. There is no way that the FBI has the intelligence to know the effectiveness of having the family being the source of the disinformation and how effective it is during a psyop.
Right.
Only you and I have the ability to know that. Of course, I'm just being silly.
Of course.
Certainly they know. That's how they play. They don't play by the rules. How unfair. The truth isn't just because someone comes out and says it.
Right. Very good point.
I can claim me and Brittany Murphy always slept in the same bed together too then.
Yeah, right. Right.
Well, why not?
Exactly. Why not?
Fair is fair.
Different? Yeah, fair is
Call me a
fair.
liar?
I do agree.
How dare you?
I agree.
Unless you have a way to prove otherwise, you can't disprove me.
That is correct.
But
welcome, Randy.
The silliness aside, oftentimes when lying, it is common to see doubling down.
Yes. Very much so. I do agree with that.
Notice at the candlelight vigil, Steve said that Kaylee and Maddie were in the same bed and died together.
Mm-hmm.
But that is much different than saying that they always slept in the same bed together.
Right.
Do you notice that? They were in the same bed and they died together. That's much different than saying
very much.
They always slept in the same bed together.
Of course. Thank you, Ro.
So here's a question. I'm testing everyone's memory. Has the Goncalves family ever said that? Did they ever say that they always slept in the same bed together? Do you guys remember hearing that?
No, I don't actually.
It took me a while to dig this one up. I searched high and low. This is a toughie.
I'm trying to think if did I?
I knew I did. It's just like, how do you even begin to look for that?
Maybe they said, always thought. Maybe we did.
I spent so much time on this. I come up with something. Let's play that 48 hours video.
I will do that.
I'll give you a timestamp on this one when you're ready.
Okay. Go ahead.
So beginning at 12 minutes, and we'll play to about 12 minutes and 20 seconds. So starting at 12 minutes.
All right.
6 a.m., but he didn't answer. The Gonsalveses believe Kaylee fell asleep shortly after. According to the police affidavit, Kaylee and Maddie were stabbed to death between 4 and 4:25 a.m. Just as they had done since they were little girls, they were sleeping in the same bed.
Okay, Dago.
Okay, there it is.
Wow.
We did hear it. That is for sure.
So my question,
where did they get that information, Eddie? That's
exactly
the question. That's the question.
Yeah. My question is did the G family say it? What do you guys think? By listening to that, that was Peter Van Sant.
Right.
That said it, I believe. But my question is still the same. Did the G family say it after listening to that?
That's a very interesting question. Did it come from them or did it come from a different source?
And again, you have to recognize that the only way Peter Van Zandt would have known that, I mean, he doesn't just conjure that up in his mind. He
Right.
got that from somewhere.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Well, who could he have got it from? Only one source.
I mean, we would, yeah, because who else would know that they've done that since they were small children or younger children, right? It would have to be
The
their
family.
parents. Yes.
That information came from the family.
Yes.
And also the family is aware of this video. So can you imagine yourselves, like the video is really about your family, and then they're saying something that, you know, like they just said. Well,
Right.
if that was incorrect, that wouldn't even have made it through the cutting room floor of editing. They would have gotten that out because, Dago, you would have said, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
what drugs you were on when I was talking to you guys, but I never said that.
Exactly.
So yeah, it has although they didn't come out and say it with their own, voices, they did say it. They're owning it.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I think that is an example of doubling down. They're building that story piece by piece. And again, as I pointed out moments ago, that's like that's much different than saying they died in the same bed. That's saying that they have always slept in the same bed together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, they're building this. Yeah, they're building it. They're hard selling this thing. And notice that the picture that they accompanied that with, that cute picture of them with their faces together like that.
Yeah.
That is done so effectively. The photo is so subtle, but how effective it is in selling it.
Absolutely. I mean, look at it.
That's not a mistake. I mean, that's clever.
No, that has to be done that way to imprint that in people's minds, what they just said, period. And it's actually a slightly younger photograph of them as well, folks.
Yeah.
So play into that as well, you know.
Yep. Is that by itself evidence that this is all a lie? No, but it's another piece, and the pieces are starting to accumulate, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if anyone can come up with, if the Gonsalves having said it, which predates this 48-hour show, we want that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be interesting to see, because I'm not saying that this is the only time we've heard it. It's just the only one I could find.
I mean, I think I did hear it. I know I saw this, but I almost thought it came from an interview. But there again, I'm thinking like maybe not. I don't know. That's crazy. This for sure we know happened because I remember when I watched this, but there probably could be one. There were so many things said in those interviews, but if you guys do find it, let us know.
A lot of time has passed since those days.
Yeah.
We've forgotten so much.
Years.
And it's just one little thought in a complete whole video that the video isn't going to be titled that. And that's what makes it a challenge to find is where do you begin looking for it? You
have to spend hours and days scanning through everything that has happened in 3 years on this. So yes, absolutely.
Right. You have to endure a lot of hours of listening to content creators talking about many, many things that are not associated with what you're looking for to be able to finally catch it.
Right. For those of you that are new, and Susie, I see your question. So Eddie is a longtime channel friend and member. Was a very big part of our community who has helped us to break this case down from day one. Multiple shows we've had Eddie on and part of, and we've discussed multiple things. So he's been around for a long time. Just
taking about a 4-month little break.
Yeah, he's got to take his little vacations from it because, as we all should, because this thing will eat your brain cells one by one if you're not careful. So that's who Eddie is for you guys that didn't know. But go ahead, bud.
So hello, Susie. Nice to meet you, and nice to meet everybody that I haven't before.
Yes.
And Dago, the next video we'll take a quick look at is the truth and transparency one.
Right. I have that one loaded over here already anyway. Good
I have
stuff.
a timestamp ready to go. So my question before we look at that is, so now we've established that the Goncalves family has doubled down on this lie. The question is, have they tripled down? Let's find out.
Absolutely.
I just happened to get a commercial here too. Okay, skip. All right, whenever you're ready with that video, I have a timestamp.
Okay.
Okay, it is 17 minutes and 30 seconds through 18 minutes. So about a half a minute.
Don't you think that somebody would have said, I was in a bedroom and the
Oh, sorry. It jumped ahead. All right. We'll just jump there from the forward to about 18. Okay. All right. Here we go.
you just did what with the dog? Don't you think that somebody would have said, I was in a bedroom and the dog was with me the whole time in that bedroom? Wasn't there a bed there that looked like somebody had slept in it? Okay. And this whole time we've been thinking it was Kaylee's bedroom. Well, the family had said Kaylee moved out. So I'm going to go with the family. I don't think Kaylee had a bedroom there.
Okay, Dale.
Yes, sir.
All right, right into the next video, the last one.
All right. 1 minute. That one I didn't seem to have pulled up. I thought I did, but I'll grab it. No problem. Let's see here. Oh, nope. That took me back to some other stuff. Where are we at?
Well, while you're looking for it, is there a way to replay that little segment right there and have just reaffirm it in everyone's memory? Because these two kind of like blend together as one complete thought.
Absolutely.
Lucy, you understand? That was everybody's mindset in the beginning. I'm going to go with the family on this one. And we all did. It was gospel, what they said.
Of course we did. We thought we had to, though. Remember? We thought that this is what you have to do if you're doing the right thing. But that was since proved to be wrong. Okay, let's try that one more time.
17
Don't you think that somebody would have said, I was in a bedroom and the dog was with me the whole time in that bedroom? Wasn't there a bed there that looked like somebody had slept in it? Okay. And this whole time we've been thinking that it was Kaylee's bedroom. Well, the family had said Kaylee moved out. So I'm going to go with the family. I don't think Kaylee had a bedroom there. I think that she did.
There you go. I even
Love
slowed
it.
it down for you guys.
Love it.
All right. Now let me find this other link real quick. I'm sorry. Where did it go? Where did it go? I don't know why I keep jumping back to those. All right, so we got 48 hours. Not Jules. 1 minute. Now, is it the Pavarotti one?
Yes,
That's
it is.
the last one. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm trying to make sure I have the right one. 1 second. I don't know why I can't click on the right one. That's not it. There it is. 1 minute. All right. Now, is there a timestamp on this one too, or is this just from the beginning? Okay.
Start at 13 minutes and 25 seconds.
Gotcha. 13:25. Okay.
It'll last until 14 minutes.
All right. 1 minute.
The first thing I got to point out is if you go through these pictures, you'll see that every single shelf, her desks, her drawers are full, her closet is packed full of her clothes and shoes. Why did the G family obviously lie and tell us that Kaylee had already packed up her room and she had pretty much moved out? And we assumed for a long time this room was totally empty. We didn't even think there was a bed in it. But it turns out every piece of personal item that Kaylee owned was still in this room.
That's
Kaylee
it.
had moved out of.
And you know, it's quite interesting. I'm going to leave the photo of this up for a minute, guys. I want you to notice something because I pointed this out a while back as well. The TV is even still mounted to the wall. Okay. It's an electronic that was not taken down. Her pens and pencils and batteries and body sprays and perfumes and her lighting for her makeup table and her little whatever this thing is over here full of her probably her makeup and personal items. It's all here. When you cut to the closet, her clothes are all hanging. All the blankets and comforters and pillowcases and shams are on her bed. Everything that Kaylee owns is in this bedroom. She didn't move out. She hadn't moved out. She may have gone somewhere away from here for a period of time, but she never moved out. I just want that to be seen. Including there's plants in here, guys. They're still here. So that is kind of important in my opinion. Yeah,
Thank
her
you.
bathroom still had stuff in it. I mean, truly.
Thank you for adding those thoughts. Yeah.
I mean, truly, there's rugs on the floor still, folks, when we see the photographs. I mean, this room was still lived in. I'll put it that way.
Look, I don't make up the rules about lying. If someone lies, it is their lying which destroys their credibility, not someone calling it out, which destroys it.
Of course. Of course.
That's why impeaching a witness statement at trial is so powerful. One lie is enough to question all truths.
And this, let me be clear about what he's saying and what I'm saying. What this whole thing is saying. This is not just a misunderstood statement. This is not just a little white lie. This is not just a little, not even an assumption. This is a blatant lie that stating that she had moved out. All her stuff was moved out. There's nothing moved. If anything, she took a bag of her clothes for a few days or something, but her whole life is in this bedroom, folks, including her refrigerator that I forgot about and all this other stuff. It's all here. So remember that.
And I'm calling out, that act we saw by Olivia at the victim impact hearing.
Right.
That feigning all that outrage.
Yes. Yes.
That's overacting. It's putting
Very
it
much
on
so.
too hard.
Very much so.
But I digress. One lie is enough to question all truths. We're at the point where no matter what they have said, there's no credibility in that. You can't now observe that all this was a lie about sleeping in the same bed,
right?
And then believe this or that else thing that they said in the past. And again, I don't make those rules. That's just long established. That's the price you pay. That's the rules you play by when you decide to lie.
Agreed.
Notice the pattern of lying. Everyone recalls their own, I'm sure, that I'm not going to cover here. I don't know if there's enough time to cover it all, but the kill kit, the following the 3 victims on Instagram, surveilling the house from the neighborhood, Brian jealous of Kaylee and Maddie's relationship,
touching the Wi-Fi with his electronic devices. Come on. There's so many of them. There's so many we can't even get them all. And they all come from the same source, Eddie.
Yes. So what is the point here? Is it to call someone a liar? No. I don't take any pleasure in doing that. That's not the point. The point is, have we proven that Kaylee and Maddie always slept in the same bed is a lie. It doesn't even make it past the smell test. And we knew it back then. We just didn't have the courage to come out and say it. Most of us. Some did, but very few. Because everything the family said was gospel back then.
So Lucy says the point is to make moves behind the scenes by triggering the public.
Yeah. Yeah, there's many points. I have quite a few listed, and I'll share them all.
Right.
There's many takeaways here. One of them, which is, if you can prove that that's a lie, then you've proven that it's the state's lie. I'm not absolving the G's for lying,
right,
to any degree. I mean, if you agree to lie, then you have to own that and live with it. But it wouldn't be their lie. They're not lying, and the state is like they've outwitted the state, the FBI and the prosecution, and none of them are. They're all oblivious to it. They're that dumb. No.
Well, and yeah. So the biggest question with the whole thing is why.
That would have been the source, how it originated. That's where the lie began.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. That's the state's lie. Same with DM and BF too, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've always said that many, many, many months ago. You all can attest to that.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So the question becomes, what would compel the family of a victim to be willing to be part of a cover-up? So also to not end up with true justice for their dead daughter. What's going on? What would cause this? Dago, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Can everybody hear me?
Can you hold on a minute? I was having a bit of an issue. Hold on. Okay, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Sorry about that. All right, here we go. So say what the last thing you said was again.
So what would cause, the question becomes, what would compel the family of a victim to be willing to be part of the cover-up? Because obviously that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's huge. That is huge. Very, very huge. Because you wouldn't think that should ever happen. Okay.
No one has the ability to suspect that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there's some answers being thrown out already. We have people saying money.
Yeah.
We have people saying fear.
Fear.
Which is where I tend to lean, maybe. Or Tomboy's saying money. Lucy says global influence and fear. Right Turn Clyde says money. I mean, it's either that or I mean, those two are probably the most the two that make the most sense. I'll say that. But there could be more. There could be, and I don't like to say this ever, but some form of involvement. I don't know. I mean, I think the fear is probably the heaviest one, in my opinion. The one that weighs the most, if that makes sense, guys. But the fear could also relate to some form of involvement. It depends on how you look at it. Oh my God, with these spam calls, I swear to God.
I can hold the floor for a minute if you need to break.
No, I just pushed it off. They're just spam calls. I have to keep deleting them. Could be all three. Yvette said, fear of what? Clyde says. That's a great question. If it is fear, what would they have a fear of? I mean, they do have more children and themselves. Fear resulting from threats. Okay. I mean, if I were to guess, there were some things that were said to them. We kind of touched on this the other day a little bit, okay? You need to look the other direction or you're going to have some problems by certain family members of other people. Those things were said to them. I mean, it could be a combination of things. Go ahead.
So we believe, because there's no way to prove that. That's just, again, kind of like,
Right.
that gets us right back to what this discussion point
It's
is about.
hearsay. Right.
You know, me and Brittany Murphy, we always slept in the same bed together, guys.
Right.
So
welcome, Audrey. Good to see you today.
is that even the truth? Right now, we have to question that because, you know, what's the receipt on that?
Right. Right. What are your thoughts?
They've compromised their integrity all around.
Yes, definitely.
We can't even be selective. Like, I want to believe this and then not that. It just pretty much all of it. Well, almost all of it, because even in mathematics, nothing holds the rule.
Yeah.
So
if I can ask, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
It's hard to say why. It's a mystery, but at least we're asking the questions. Some other takeaways to this, you know, the point to all this is also to be able to see that Kaylee was placed in that room.
Yes. Yeah, because here's the thing, and I said this before. This is, of course, my opinion based on things I saw and thought, okay? We were told, and it was ingrained in us immediately, repeatedly, that Kaylee and Maddie were in that bed together. They were attacked in that bed together. But then we looked at photographs early on, and then we got more photographs and looked at it. And Kaylee's bed, as I claimed, looked as though it had been, like, I guess you call it, turned down a little bit. It looked like it was made, but it looked like it had been turned down slightly, guys, though she were in it. Okay. So, therefore, in turn, I came to a conclusion in my own mind. Was Kaylee in her bed, getting ready to go to sleep with the dog in the room? The dog goes over, starts scratching at the door, whining, making noise, or she hears something, gets up and walks into that room and comes upon somebody or sees somebody. And therefore, in turn, you know, the nightmare ensues. But if that's the case, why were we not told that? Why were we told they were attacked while sleeping in their beds in Maddie's room, in the bed together? Why were we just not told? Kaylee was in her room going to bed. She saw or heard something, what we believe, because nobody knows, of course, and Maddie was in her room sleeping. Why were we not told that that's a probability? It had to be they were together in Maddie's bed asleep when they were attacked and murdered, taking us to the point they were murdered in their sleep in the bed, period. There was no room for anything else at that point. That's what it was.
I want to expand on that when I'm able to.
Yeah, go for it. That's why I put it out there.
That is another one of the takeaways here is, you know, if the prosecution concocts a story of they were always asleep together that night, then it protects the narrative of they were peacefully sleeping at the time and no one felt any pain. Remember hearing that?
Absolutely.
The November 20th press conference, Captain Lanier said the victims were likely asleep.
Very true. Very true. Tomboy throws an answer to what I just said out there, because then we would have to ask the tough questions to and for Bethany and Dylan, which in turn starts to turn the channel.
Yeah.
But that also, go ahead.
Also, the November 23rd press conference, Captain Lanier states that the results of the autopsies determined victims were likely asleep.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, when we received recently the generic, as I'll call them, autopsy results, it seems to me that they weren't, because they all, including Maddie and Ethan, had different forms of defensive wounds. So, if you're sleeping, you can't defend yourself, in my opinion.
Of course. And then a single perpetrator crime can be the narrative.
Uh-huh. Of course. Of course.
And notice by this time, because the interviews with the surviving roommates, that was the day of the crime.
Right.
So the investigators had that information. And then these press conferences, they're maintaining that the victims were likely asleep, but put yourself in the mindset of an investigator. So you have the survivors are awake during this time, but you're maintaining that the victims were asleep. No way. No reasonable. If the survivors are awake, then the entire house is awake. That's just how that goes.
Yeah.
At least that's what you have to assume.
That's what you would assume, right?
So here we are in these press conferences, law enforcement pushing this narrative that the victims were likely asleep.
Right. And it's interesting because if you think back to different interviews, most recently, oh my God. Okay, Eddie, hold the floor for me. This one's important. 1 second.
But this kind of brings us to term with what I wanted to share with everyone today. If you're waiting for the gotcha moment, the smoking gun, so to speak, to be able to prove that there was a cover-up or a frame job, you're never going to be able to achieve that. But understanding things intuitively, being open-minded and willing to consider every possibility, like we did today, grokking it, so to speak. That's what it takes to understand the truth. That's what I wanted to share. But talking about this, I think has a potential to stem into other conversations too, because like we were talking the other day, although we weren't covering this exact subject matter, but now and again, it did kind of touch on some of these key points. And I think now is a good time to have this conversation because of some of the information that's now being released publicly. And guys, for the longest time, I kind of, in conversations in the past, I've tread into this and then didn't have the nerve to see it through, because who wants to go around calling people liars, right? Because how do you go about proving that someone is lying? There's no way to prove it. Unless, you have that documented somehow. Which reminds me, we kind of started this discussion talking about Robert Heinlein and his science fiction novel, Stranger in a Strange Land. I want to also introduce you to a term from that novel. it might be a new idea or a new term to many. Maybe some have heard it. But the term is a fair witness. So in that book, a fair witness is it's someone whose job is, it's kind of like it sounds. They're individuals who are trained to see the world around them as literally as possible. Let me read on and find some of the key points here that's interesting to share. A fair witness is an individual trained to observe events and report exactly what he or she sees and hears, making no assumptions I'm scanning for more information about this.
All right. Sorry about that. That was Mrs. Dago.
I'm talking a little bit about the Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein here briefly.
Oh, okay.
About the idea of a fair witness. It's a fictional like job, I guess.
Right.
In the book, a fair witness is a highly reputable source of information. By custom, a fair witness acting professionally, generally wearing a distinctive white robe, is never addressed directly and never acknowledged by anyone present. The job of the fair witness is to do their best to avoid any possibility of bias when wearing the robe and repeating the truth of what they have seen, done, or heard. Fair witnesses are prohibited from drawing conclusions about what they observe as a demonstration. So if you ask a fair witness to describe the color of a house in the distance, they'll likely respond, "It's white on this side," because they don't assume that even though the house is white on this side, that the other sides of the house may be a different color.
Right.
So it is like it is what you would want Judge Hippler, someone like Judge Hippler or prosecutor Bill Thompson to be. I mean, can you imagine if they were that unbiased and that you could only expect the truth from them? I mean, imagine a world where we lived where you could just trust. You don't have to worry about if someone's lying, because if that person is a fair witness, then you can bank on it.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Ashley, prosecutor Ashley, wouldn't that be nice if she was a fair witness? Or Bill Thompson?
Yeah, agreed. That would be amazing.
But yeah, I was just kind of taking the left turn there, sideline discussion.
It's okay. No worries at all.
We kind of left off with I don't know. I think we were talking about the sleeping,
Yeah, the lies and why
victims.
and all that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the gain. What is the gain for the family member to tell lies and put out misinformation? That's a huge question to this, folks. Honest to God. What could the family of a murder victim gain from telling lies about the case? And why? Why would you want to do that? And a lot of people are answering because of fear, because of money. And I'm going to lean more on the fear side of things than money, but it could be both. But if you go towards the fear side, what are they afraid of? That's where the questions come into question, the hard questions. And that would be nice to know. And if we could understand that, there's so many of these lies, guys. I think Eddie and I both have a list of our own that we could go on for an entire show expressing them, all of them. They were not just told to us, they were told to many other people who in turn re-represented those lies and put them out again and again and again and again in different fashions, and they just repeatedly happen.
And
And
if you want to
then
invite anyone else up on the panel, they go, you're free to, you're welcome to do
okay,
that.
sure. And maybe they have some answers to some of this, but this is all very good point, very interesting point today. I
Like you
greatly
pointed out a couple days ago, because we often hear, people like filling in the excuses for the G family, like, well,
yes,
they wouldn't know, for
they would.
example, they were told, like for the candlelight vigil, if they were told to say that, because only the prosecution, the investigators would know that they were in the same bedroom, in the same bed together. So there's no way that the G's put that out by inventing that in their own mind. They got that obviously from.
They have a source.
The state.
Everything comes from something. Yes, and Silent G just said maybe it was his truth. That doesn't. And all due respect, Silent G, but that doesn't make a lot of sense, my friend, because
not allowing it. We've established. That's why I went through great lengths. We looked at every thing there is to look at.
Right.
We gotta like put our foot down and
you're
not
good, George.
Just try to fill in excuses.
Yeah, you can. You can turn your camera off if you want to, bud.
When it's blatant, and like Dago said the other day, is there's a point at which the G's know that something they've said in the past is a lie, and they don't ever come out and correct themselves.
Yeah, got you. Gotcha, absolutely got you. Real quick, welcome George Stewart. Thank you for joining us, brother. And Susie's statement here. I heard Christy say that she had her new car half packed to move back that night. Move back in that night. Okay. So where was the rest of her stuff? And why did she still have so much in that room? I mean, is it possible that she had more? Sure. But everything, I mean, that looked like that was being fully lived in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But so what's up, George? What are your thoughts, sir? Thank you for joining us.
No, I was going to ask you that. Well, see the DNA. How come for the first victim to the fourth victim, there were no evidence going through them all?
Say that again, a little bit slower, but I noticed you have a little bit of an accent. It's hard to understand.
That's not the accent. What I'm saying is, see when they're accusing Brian Koberger in this case,
yes.
How come there's no evidence in his car, DNA, there's no way in this world that somebody could do that crime and no blood air them, and no travel for the blood for the top floor down to the bottom floor? I just don't understand it.
Gotcha.
There's got to be more people involved in this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
It's so upsetting. I feel as if that wee lad's been threatened in that jail when he's took it on his family and just accepted it.
Right.
And my nephew's got autism, and I feel as if I see a lot of him in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's terrible.
It is.
How people's treating them.
It should never happen like this. I agree with that. Never. It's horrible. It
shouldn't
be allowed to happen.
No, but I feel as if Bill Thompson and Ann Taylor made a deal. I don't know why. And
go ahead.
It's just, I look at the guy and see that day they were giving the statements to him, and he sat and would you like to say anything? Respectfully, no. And I know the reason why he's not saying nothing, because he is going to post for an appeal he's got to, and he's best being quiet. Your lawyer advises you to be quiet all the time. So,
yeah, right.
I think that's the reason he's not spoke to anybody, because if he does, he's jeopardizing himself.
Yeah, and I think that's why they've been so quiet on that end of things, because of those. 1 second.
George, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Scotland, Glasgow, mate.
That's what I thought. It was a guess.
Aye. Where are you from?
Minnesota.
Oof. How's it there?
Well, today we're having nice weather, but we just
Beautiful.
have had, yeah, it was really nice weather. It's like 54 degrees today. The sun's out.
Oh, wow. You're freezing.
65 here.
As a Minnesotan, no, we'll take it. We'll take
Yeah,
it.
that's shorts
I
weather
would
here.
take it. You're -7 all the time. It's frozen.
And by the way, that's degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, man.
you guys have winter or you have summer over there right now, don't you?
The Scotland, no, it's winter look here.
Where
They're in the
you're at?
northern hemisphere.
It starts getting cold about December, and then sometimes in March it's really nice. But other times it's miserable, and it's miserable just now.
Okay, yeah. See, and I know friends of mine from Australia, when we're in the dead of winter, it's middle of summer for them. So I thought it was the opposite sides of you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, my friend's over in Australia, and he was posting me pictures, and I was jealous.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it is beautiful today. It's like I said, it's 65, sunny, warm, slightly breezy. It's like just a perfect day here. It's beautiful.
Good.
So,
do you think Brian will get out of this, Dago?
Say again, buddy.
Do you think Brian will get out of this?
Brian?
Yeah, Coburger.
Oh no, he's as far as I'm concerned. If I heard what you said, because like I said, it's a little hard to understand. I believe Brian is 100% innocent of this. I don't even believe that he was there with somebody else. I don't. For a long time, I said, well, maybe he was there with somebody else. In the very beginning, I accepted it for what it was because I had no reason to not accept it. And as more information was released, and as I followed more, and the more, as I'll call fuckery that came forward, at this point, I jumped off the fence and ran to the innocent side completely. I believe deep inside that Brian had absolutely no connection and nothing to this case whatsoever.
Absolutely. I thought he was a getaway driver and he freaked out and went. But then after seeing the what do you call it, the Washington with the fog lights, I went, they've just used that boy.
They 100% they did. Yeah. They have railroad. This is the worst, in my opinion, I'll say. The Delphi case is rough too, but this is one of the worst cases of railroading I've ever seen in my life.
Did you see Kelly's sister posted about one of her cousins that has been murdered as well? Why has that not been on the news? She posted that on Facebook.
Her sister, what was the post about?
Her cousin. I can't really go into it because I'm on this, but she posted it, and I hope you've met Kayla and Maddie. But why was nothing like that on the news about that? And
the Facebook post. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel as if the families were involved, and they're just letting that boy lie in jail, and I think it's terrible.
And it is because I believe that no matter what they're saying, thank you, SRB. I believe they know a lot more than they have presented to the world that they know. Welcome, Dylan. I truly do believe that they know the truth. Okay, they can sit in an interview with Nancy Disgrace. They can sit in an interview with Brian Enton. They can sit in an interview with Chris McDonough. Any of them, and say what they're saying. I don't believe they believe themselves. But I don't believe they believe what they're saying. They know different, in my opinion, truly and honestly.
See that show you put on Dago, listening to Dylan? Oh my God. I was so frustrated listening to her. It's pretty much in.
It is.
Oh, wow. Why did she not get the handcuffs slapped on her right away?
Right.
Because pretty much everything that she thinks she heard, she did to her.
Yeah.
Because they were murdered. So why did they not take her statement and say, look, see if you don't start talking, you're going to get jailed.
Yeah.
At least for not notifying us. They've let them off.
I don't think they were supposed to. I think that's a whole part, the whole part of the whole thing. Thank you. Real quick. I think that's the whole part of the whole narrative. But thank you, Blue Eyed Butterfly, for that membership that went to Miss Paula Fitzhenry. Congrats. Welcome back to the sauce, dear. And thank you again, Butterfly. God bless. Very generous. No, I think that's all part of the entire narrative that they were not supposed to ever be. Again, we talked about this the other day that at some point Steve was looking at Dylan and Bethany in a negative way and nefarious way, and he makes a statement, true or not, whether we believe it or not. But like Eddie's pointed out today, there's been a lot of lying done. So you either believe it or you don't, for whatever reasons. He claims that certain people threatened them, that if they don't look in a different direction, there's going to be some bad things that are going to happen.
See, the more it comes out, the more they're releasing. It's more questions. It proves he didn't do it. And I don't understand why. The only thing I can think why is, see, because his mental health and his autism, the boys looked at his family and went, I don't want to put him through this, I'll just take a plea deal. But I don't think he'll cope in the jail. I hope he doesn't get into the general population, because I feel as if he'll come out in a box. And it's worrying when you know somebody's innocent, because there's no evidence. I don't believe that. I believe that sheaf was planted.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't know if it was college kids. Everybody's got different theories, but all I know is everybody should be concentrating on just the evidence and getting him off, and then maybe try and solve it. But the police should have done that. Why did they stop investigating? They just gave a name, and then they get told, oh, but don't tell the court this and that. That's rubbish.
Of course, yeah.
They used his empathy against him. The boy sat 3 years silent and then accepted a plea deal, because that Hitler, I call him Hitler, because he wasn't letting him get in.
Yeah.
He had no chance of proving his innocence. He was going to get slaughtered. And he's scared. See a man that's willing to go and kill 4 people, it's a psychopath. They're no bored of getting killed, Dago. Come on.
Right.
So they've got to take it. But I see when he stood up and says respectfully no to Hitler, I went, that boy's not done this. And why did Bill Thompson cover Dylan only when she was giving her speech?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to know where that wee diehard was and her boyfriend, because she's covering for somebody, and Bethany knows something. She's terrified.
Yeah, definitely covering up somebody, for sure.
They're covering. And I don't know, but I've got a funny feeling the police was involved in this or not. I feel as if, see that white car that went round the first time, it taken longer, and I feel as if somebody was dropped off. See the 350, when you see that man walking along, I feel as if he went to the house and sat in Dylan's room, she added him as a contact, then that Molly, meth, went and get the delivery, and then all of a sudden get a text, can't you find us? Who waits an hour and a half for a DoorDash?
Nobody, right.
That's messed up.
Most definitely, sir. Most definitely.
My friend Bill Thompson, the prosecutor, he wasn't Brian's friend. He basically stuck a man in jail for nothing.
Yeah. Yes.
And Hitler, nobody see that the state. See the one of the hearings, see when he covered his face, I felt as if he was giving a sign. See that man that came in, help him out, the narcotics man, and then all of a sudden they've all ended up with pure bonuses. But I'm hoping this WSU lawsuit brings everything up, because they've got the power and a lot more power than the lawyers. 400 million. And they've no evidence stabbing Maddie, Kelly, Ethan, and it was only meant to be the one knife. And then they said there were a second weapon. Where's the second weapon? They didn't ask him for nothing because he can't tell them because he didn't do it.
Right.
It's frustrating for the boy.
I get it. Absolutely. Okay. Take care, George. Thank you. Appreciate your input, sir. What do you got, Dylan?
Well, I was able to watch most of what Eddie believes, and I definitely believe that there is something. Obviously, there is something going on with Steve G and the Goncalveses that we're not being told about, and
agreed.
It's and the moving out part is absolutely fascinating to me because again, she's allegedly estranged from the family,
of course,
and so and it's almost as if they're trying to corroborate what Bethany said at the end of her interview with, Kaylee was actually not going to move to Texas.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. Yeah. Wickham 1-1.
So then
hey, what's up?
So now I kind of want to see, and obviously we never will, but I want to see the phone records for between Jack Decor, Stephen Galvez, and Bethany Funk.
Very much so.
And see if there is any crossover. Because something this elaborate, yes, it could have been it could have been done by Greek Row. But the idea had to come from somebody older, or at least for the grandmaster plan.
Yes.
You're not going to have 18 to 24-year-olds coming up with this elaborate of a scheme.
I mean, they could come up with it, but the premeditation to it, to me, would need somebody that has more experience, a little bit more age under their belt that could withhold it, that could hold it down and keep it the way they did. So yeah, I agree with that.
Now, do we know what Showalter's major was?
I want to say it was some kind of business because him and Maddie had business classes together.
Okay. And then Bethany's was like sports management or like sports therapy or something like that.
I think so. Let me show this picture real quick before I forgot. I almost forgot about this, but keep asking your questions, bud.
It would have to be somebody in criminology, somebody if it was one person doing the actual stabbing, then obviously it's somebody in the medical field.
I mean, it seemed, I said that in the beginning that I thought it would be somebody that had a medical knowledge to be able to, some of the injuries were very specific. That's my opinion, that they were specifically stabbing in certain places.
Yeah.
That's something I always thought too.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah. So we just need to figure out who in that circle is in some sort of medical field, and that's where you're going to probably find the person doing the stabbing.
Very plausibly, yeah. By the way,
still looks like there's. Yeah, go ahead, Dingo. Sorry.
This is what Lucy had thrown in the background, Eddie, and it was interesting because of what you had said with them being together, always sleeping together, blah blah blah. This was put on Facebook on November 19th of 2011. It says, "Best friends die together." And then we have this, which is really strange to me. I'll just say that much.
Yeah, that is strange. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. That's what Lucy had given us earlier. I think it's very crazy.
November 19th.
2011, yeah.
And another thing that I noticed, and someone who is more of in the tech field may be able to corroborate, but on the Goncalves family Facebook page, a lot of the videos that look decently recent look like they were done off a flip phone. The videos that they post.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that noticed that, or? because they look like they were done off a flip phone with the quality. And I mean, they've had good cameras on phones since I would say the 14.
How are you guys doing?
Good to see you.
How you doing, Dylan? How you doing, Eddie?
Doing good.
Dylan, I haven't said hello yet. Hello.
What's up, Eddie?
The only thing I wanted to add in, Dylan, there to what you were saying about the stabbing, it does seem like though, if it's, I know we didn't get everyone keeps saying, well, I mean, I guess we refer to the autopsy, but we didn't actually get the autopsy. We got like
not a real one.
We got like an abridged like version of stuff.
Yes.
So from that, it does appear, if that's authentic, I guess we have to assume it is. It does seem like there's at least 2 different kind of stab wounds there going on. Like if you look at the injuries from Maddie and Kaylee, and then you look at Ethan and Xana. I know Xana was awake or whatever, but besides from that, if you look like at the actual description of the stab wounds that they give, it seems like there's 2 different kinds of people attacking. And it gives that appearance.
So, I needed a favor from you 3. Can you hold the fort for me for a few minutes? I guess my septic person is here because we had an issue with my basement again, and they're here to fix something. And I need to go show him a couple of things. Could you guys sit here and conversate for a few minutes without me?
Sure.
Don't kill each other. And I don't want anybody showing stuff. So
nah.
Be safe. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. It shouldn't take me long at all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to True Crime Cafe with Dylan.
And now the real show begins.
No holds
Don't
barred.
mess with me.
The warden's away. The inmates will play.
Dago's like, I got your number. I hear you. No.
He might want to leave the Bluetooth off for this one. But yeah,
So what do you think? So what do you think about? So what do you think about that? So you think that? I was just listening to what you were saying, Dylan. So do you think that it's more than one person that did this? Okay.
Minimum of 3 people.
Right.
A minimum of 3 people.
And how did you feel? I almost think. I mean, I know it's just a theory, and obviously we don't know, and obviously he doesn't know. But I thought Pavarotti did a really good job too. He's shown a few times that, like when Dylan's door is open, you can see like out. What is that? The kitchen window there. You could see outside the kitchen window.
Yeah.
So it's almost like if someone who was involved was waiting outside like she could have. This is again all theory, speculation. When not saying this is what happened, but she could have signaled someone or something. Could have.
Yeah, in theory, yeah. I think you can see. I'm trying to think of what the
She just like I know you weren't like Dago had a show was it 2 or 3 days ago, and he was kind of recovering some of the interviews and stuff that Dylan did, and it's just every time I hear, I believe it was the interview with Vicky Gooch, and she just makes me nuts. She can't answer a goddamn question. Like there was a question about the doors being locked, and within like I think like a 1 minute, a 1 to 2 minute answer there. She gives like 4 different answers. She's like, well, Ethan. Sometimes Ethan forgets to lock the door, and I usually lock it. So I think I locked it, but I don't know, maybe I didn't lock it. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? You can't remember if you locked the door or not?
So usually with people who don't remember if they locked the door or not, they never lock the door. They just try to be
Yeah.
opportunistic or opportunist about it, or be like.
Well, right. Well,
So
what she was saying in that statement, she's saying that she was basically saying Ethan, he usually forgets, and then she locks the door. That's basically what she was saying. But then she adds in, but I don't remember if I locked the door. It's like, just answer the goddamn question.
yeah. I mean, so
Yeah.
it might be she typically will lock the door at late at
Right.
night, but for whatever reason, but she didn't that night. And she was trying to remember if it was that night or the night before. And trust me, I'm not defending Dylan. I'm just kind of
No, no,
looking at
I
it
know.
from
I get. Yeah, yeah. I get it.
from that angle, because
Right. Right.
because I like I almost never lock my door. I got other tools for people if they want to try to come in my house.
Yeah.
and and but like whenever somebody asks me, do I lock my door? Maybe. I think I did.
Yeah. Right.
And it really depends on like your level of paranoia, really, for each individual person. Did you lock the door? I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Or you're gonna have that person that gets up
Yeah.
and double checks. Like so.
Right. Right. And I get that, but I would just think on this specific night. I mean, and they went. You know, she's gone. You know, all of them have gone through what they. You know, how many times they took a piss and how many like. I would think there wouldn't be one thing. I understand that people can go, you know, especially my job. I understand that people can go into some kind of shock state, and they have you know, kind of like memories that get suppressed and all that. But I don't think I'm don't think I'm pretty sure at this
That
point we're all in
no,
agreement that
that didn't happen.
Dylan was not in a shock state. So
Yeah, I mean the only way that Dylan's story would make sense is if there was if she was she had that opportunistic bias, um, where where it's pretty much it's nothing happens in Moscow, and they did mention that a few times early on.
yes, yeah,
and then
they did,
and then
they
it
did.
and then it disappeared. And
Yeah,
if they would have kept hammering that, then I think they would have I think they would have been able to get away from a lot of heat, because the opportunistic bias is a very real thing. Oh, it can't happen. It can't happen to me. It just that kind of thing. But they go on, and the more stuff that comes out, and it's just like, no, these are outright lies. And I think the person, obviously, Dylan is somebody to look at, Bethany, the whole crew, and I think we need to start shifting the way that we look at Steve G, because he is
yeah.
everything that's coming out. I'm beginning to get suspicious of him. Now, I think without a
But in what way? Wait, you think he was involved in
I think
somehow in the murders? I don't mean being there, but
I'm not quite sure.
yeah.
I'm not quite sure, but we start.
You're not.
We
Yeah,
need to
I mean
quite.
you're not
We
wrong.
need
You're
to.
not wrong. That something's definitely like off about that. I mean, no one has. There's no such thing as like a whatever perfect. Everyone has their own drama and different things, but there was something definitely. I know we don't know what it is. I know that supposedly there was some kind of incident, right, that involved Kaylee.
eh,
I don't know if it involved Steve G or not, but some kind of big incident that
Well,
happened when she was younger.
if we believe that, Kaylee and her family were estranged,
Yeah.
the only like major catalyst that we can look at is the breakup with Jack, because we know the G family loved Jack, and they were quick to defend him right off the cuff, and they still have stuck to him all the way through.
Yeah.
And yet there's unanswered questions from Jack that you look at the whole thing, and only one person in this entire thing has something to gain, and that is Jack D. He gets his dog, and he gets ultimate revenge because he gets to live. He gets to win, quote unquote, win the breakup. And you factor in the fact that he's had to go to therapy over this. Now, I'm not saying everybody that's crazy goes to therapy. But you have to follow the logical conclusion.
You do, but I just don't see how. Like, I get that, and many of like wacky kind of like different events that happen to people from all kinds of weird stalking and all kinds of stuff definitely do come from past relationships and all that. I just don't know. Uh, I don't know. Like, I could see him wanting revenge on Kaylee, but what would that have to do with Maddie and Xana and Ethan? You know, that's the issue where I have a problem with Jack.
I do get that, and it could just simply be right place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the 237 camera, it makes it quite obvious that this wasn't just a one-time hit out. This was a long, prolonged process where it would.
Yeah, I agree.
It would go
I agree with that.
the realm of torture.
I agree with that. That's one thing, and not about like, I don't bash other creators. This is definitely one area that just me personally, from what I've seen, I know what he says or whatever. I don't really agree with Pavarotti. Still, he thinks that everything happened at after 4 o'clock. I'm not. I'm more in agreement, kind of with you, that whatever it is that happened, or whoever got attacked first or not, something started around 2:30 in this place, and I still go by, of course, cell phone is not exactly proof of life. We've seen that in many cases, right? There's many different cases where people pretended to be the other person, Gabby Petito and her boyfriend there. But I do think it's highly suspicious when you watch the Corner Club from that night. I mean, you see Kaylee's on her phone like nonstop. So I find it hard to believe that all of a sudden that 250 whatever it is, was it 256? Maddie and Kaylee's phone both go completely dark at the same time, like nothing, no activity, no messages, nothing. We know they didn't go. We know they weren't sleeping. They didn't go to bed.
Yeah, well, so I'll play a little devil's advocate here. Obviously, when you're out in public, you're going to be on your phone a little bit more because in reality, nobody likes talking to anybody, especially if you're in a place like the Corner Club and it's midnight, 1 a.m. You're just kind of burning time while Maddie's out having fun. But when you get home, obviously there's the dog to play with. There's your friends to talk with or whatever. Watching a movie, you might be on your phone a little bit, but hey, if the movie is good, your phone's down.
I get right, so, and I get that, but just but the fact that both of them, Maddie and Kaylee, both of their phones stop activity basically at the same time, to me, to me, that's that's like the triggering event. So like whatever happened with Kaylee and Maddie started at that moment. I'm not saying that they were killed at that moment, but that's when, either they were attacked or someone grabbed their, you know, they were held. Someone took their phone at that point. I just said that for both of them to lose, to not have these people, I mean, these people in college now, these young kids, they can't put, I get what you're saying. Like she was out in public, now she's at home. There would have been a picture of Murphy, or there would have been the selfies, or these are people who are always taking pictures, always on TikTok, always on this app, on that app. To me, that's definitely like the triggering time for what I feel with Maddie and
You
Kaylee.
believe that could be when everything may have either kicked off or when it was in
Right, well,
motion.
right. They might not necessarily have been killed at that point. Like I believe what Dylan said, like this may have been some kind of wacky torture thing. Maybe they were trying to, you know, uh, there's a lot, why was Kaylee, why was her face bashed in? Maybe she was the one that maybe she's the one that opened her mouth about something, or maybe they were trying to get info out of it. There's like so many different ways you could play it, but I think that to me the evidence like that, it
Well,
just
let me ask you both together something based on Eddie's
Yeah.
presentation today. I don't know if you both heard it all, but
I heard most of it about
about the
these.
lying,
Yeah.
and okay. So let's
Yeah.
ask. I want to ask you two your opinion now. What he basically pointed out was that the Gonsalves family, the victim's family, one of the main families within the main family, I'll just say that has spoken out the
Right.
most. Okay, has told untruth, lies. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They've lied many, 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 many times. I could probably fill a quarter to a half of a notebook with everything they've said that wasn't true. What are you guys, you two, what do you think is the reasoning behind that? As a victim's family, I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
Like as for like right now, like why would
Like,
they
why do you
continue?
think that happened? Like from the moment that it started, why do you think that Steve Gonsalves has come forth with as many lies that he's told about what has gone on within this case, in your opinion?
It's a good question.
I mean, what reason could he have as the father of a murder victim to
I mean,
rather
the only
than
reason, right?
Go ahead.
That's it. The only reason to lie is to hide something. You're trying to hide. You're trying to
Okay.
hide something. So why would he wanna? Why would he want to hide the truth? What is he afraid of
There's one
coming out?
you just basically described fear, and that was said a lot in the chat.
Yeah.
And then other people said money, but yeah, what is he afraid of? And I think it goes back to that every time,
Yeah.
no matter what you're talking about with that.
I would say fear, but
Yeah.
when you go out and show the actual messages of being threatened, that goes off the table because it defeats the purpose of the threat to shut your mouth. And
When you're showing it, right?
So I don't necessarily believe that it's fear. At least fear for his safety or his family's safety could be
And those
to
didn't come, Dylan, till the end. He didn't show those threatening messages to Bryant until, like, what was it, the sentencing hearing or somewhere around that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which still, I mean, you still, if you're truly afraid, you're not going to tell a soul about it. You're just
that's
going
a
to
really
shut
good
up.
point. Yeah, because what when somebody, okay, we've seen movies, we've seen situations where somebody's been kidnapped or held ransom or whatever, or robbed, and people are held at gunpoint. And I'm sure when you've heard these stories where they say, if you tell anybody, you sit there, you wait for count to 20, you say anything, I'm coming back for you, things like that. So people get that fear of God put into them. So That's a good point, Dylan. If you're showing the messages to somebody, that fear has to dispel itself at some point. You're not afraid to do that. So what are you doing? So what then
Yeah.
where does it take it back to then?
Right, and that is a good point. Like how how scared could he really be if he's willing to show the message?
Right. So I
Can't
mean,
be
other
he can't
than
be he can't be that scared.
right.
If he was truly in fear, someone threatened him like we're gonna you're gonna have
Some form of
severe
retaliation or something. Yeah.
severe retaliation, severe consequences to you or your family. You're not even gonna know what happened to you. Like I would think you wouldn't see any message from him.
And
That's a huge point. I mean, other
and
than
on
being
top of
afraid of
all of
somebody
that,
wearing a hat with a big G on it, the
Yeah.
Georgia hat, I'd be afraid of that. But I'm just saying. Had to throw that in. Let me say this real quick though. Lucy said the upside down and inside out and backwards. That is all things Gonsalves. Seems like people that are told to support the narrative, but repeatedly they break the character. Right. Again and again and again. Go ahead, Dylan. But that's a good point too, Lucy.
but yeah, and especially if you were truly afraid and you have that pretty much direct line to the FBI, as you would in this case, you would show them that, and then that would be it. You wouldn't go to the
bingo.
You wouldn't go to the national reporter that is in your small rinky-dink town covering this case, who has access
Right.
to the entire world on his platform.
Or you're not going to go to somebody such as Brian Anton, Nasty Disgrace, Smashley, Skeletor.
Right.
Oh, what the hell are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to tell all of us. Well, you already told us. So what's the damn good point in that? Truly.
So let's go down let's take a walk down my brain, because I go with the most nefarious. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me go get some triple antibiotic cream or something first.
You're gonna need a biosuit. You're gonna need a biosuit.
Right.
Because I look at I look at things the most nefarious way until proven otherwise.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
So what if Steve G knows exactly who did it, and he knows they're not going to do anything?
Okay.
Or he has purposely set up from the actual killers. Hey, send me this. That way, the sympathy comes off of me, and the sympathy comes out of me, and then the heat comes off.
Okay.
Because
that's interesting.
Again, there's people in this case that are playing 5D chess.
Definitely.
We're dealing with the people that fail at playing checkers right now.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people that are playing 5D chess, and
yeah,
I believe Steve G might be one of them.
I go back and forth with that. I agree with you, but then I'm like, but he did this. But he did that. You know what I mean?
You also right, and you also have to have in your mind too. Definitely possibility. I know he was very outspoken and he was all out there and everything. He also could have been taken advantage of and been a tool as well for the FBI and law enforcement, because he would, they maybe they did tell him some stuff in the beginning, but they maybe you can't always assume that they knew everything.
Here's my thought on that one, and I know we've talked about this before. And by the way, for those of you jump in here, make sure you guys give a really big, bold letter, because it's okay to do that here. Happy birthday to Typically Unique Miss Kim. Today's her birthday, so make sure you scream it at her, guys. Please and thank you. So here's the thing. I agree with you, one that they use the Gonsalves as a tool because they were a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
They were immediately a mouthpiece for this. But when did Steve realize that? Okay, this is my issue with this whole thing that you just said. I agree that happened at some point, maybe early on, whatever. That's great. But then at that point, I saw it, you saw it, Dylan saw it, Eddie saw it. We all saw a change in Steve where I think he realized what they were doing. Okay. And when he
Yeah.
realized that, why did he continue forward in that same narrative then? There's things that he knows are not true. Things that it's been proven aren't true. And the
Right.
man will continue going forward telling untruths in this case. So at that point, why? Okay.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
because a lawyer got into his ear and said, "Hey, if you stick with this narrative, you won't get one hell of a payday from WSU."
Yeah. Right. I mean, right now at this
There you
point,
go.
I would say everything is about protecting the lawsuit, and sad to say, it's about, it's more about the money than anything else.
Good.
It is
I
all
hate
about
to
the money.
I hate to say that, and
We all do.
it's horrendous what happened to all of these kids, and
Oh,
I do feel bad for all the families. But to me, right now, especially like this guy who was on podcasts and on TV every day screaming from the rafters, and now all this evidence, all this stuff has come out, and we still haven't seen all the these crime scene photos. All this stuff comes out. Howard Bloom, who wrote a book, and even he's coming forward, and whatever you want to say. Well, he has he wants to protect his brand or this or that. It doesn't
mhm.
matter. He's still a mainstream, still well known worldwide, and he's still coming forward saying, I think that there might be someone else involved now. Where
Right.
I have yet to hear Steve G say anything. Oh my, like you would think a parent would, you would be out there. Oh my God, we got to get all the people involved. I want every last person to go down for this. But no, you don't hear any of that, because everything
So,
is about this
yes.
stupid lawsuit.
Yes. So what you just said, and I think what we've all come to um the realization of, okay? At some point, Steve, and I hate to say this, you guys. You guys know I have nothing but full compassion for these families for their loss. But when I say this, this is with all due respect. At some point in this 3 years, 3.5 years, whatever it has been, we're getting there. Okay. At some point, they put this on the back burner for money. They put proving the truth and getting justice for the loss of their child for money,
Yep.
because that's what we just said. That's what it looks like to me. As much as, like you said, one, as much as we don't want to believe this, as much as I don't want to say this, because I don't want to say that. But damn it, what are we seeing now?
The unfortunate reality is that all of the victims' families that are in this lawsuit, from the Chapins to the Goncalveses, to the Kernodles, all of them in this lawsuit have chosen money over justice for their child.
Thank you.
That is the unfortunate reality of this situation.
Yeah.
And it's very
is.
saddening to me, because we have all been chastised and degraded and talked down to and obliterated, because all we have done since November 14th of 2022, I'm talking about me mostly because I can't speak for everybody, but
Right.
most of the people that have followed me along this little journey here, okay, all we have done was try to help the families of the victims to be able to receive true justice in this, okay?
Right.
To be able to get justice for the loss of a child is one of the most horrific things that could ever happen to anybody. And we have been just attacked, degraded, chastised,
Yeah.
destroyed over this. And at this point now, we're sitting here watching family chase money instead of truth. And it's so sickening
Yeah.
to me.
It doesn't seem like doesn't seem like that they care about that anymore,
No,
because
because guess what? Money,
And
I don't care how much money, it's not going to bring Kaylee back.
And the
No.
craziest part is the lawsuit that they are pursuing is it is such a long shot that it wouldn't be worth it.
Of course.
It's a long shot, and it's going to be ongoing for a long time, because that
And-
lawsuit is not going to be over anytime soon. And we don't know, so I can't say 100%, but I can bet you 99.9%, you know, uh, there's going to be some kind of post conviction release filed, and we've spoken about it a few times. I believe that all we're waiting for
It's coming.
is for this leak. It is for this leak investigation to be over
Yes.
with. And I know people are like, "Well, how do you know that?" I don't know that, but what I can tell you, if you look up info about that kind of investigation, um, it's all of it is secret. It's even the special prosecutor that's put in place to oversee it
All right.
does not even have to report to Hitler, does not have to tell him anything until they're done with their investigation. So
Which is
we're not going to
ridiculous.
get weekly, monthly updates. So what's going on with the leak investigation? I bet you anything that that it is ongoing right now. And when that's finally done with, and I'm sure it's going to show that that the leak came from the prosecution, that's when I either it'll be with Ann Taylor or whatever lawyer he gets. There'll be a whole slew of things filed.
Sure. And you know what's funny is with you saying that too, Steve himself said, exact words, that he doesn't believe that there is a leak investigation going on because he believes that some of the leak he claimed he didn't believe. He claimed some of the leaking came from him and they never came to him and talked to him about it. So in turn, he doesn't think there's a leak investigation. So what are they doing?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I know that he doesn't tell truth often, but
yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, we saw the process that went on. I mean, I know. Well, what are we just going to believe Hitler because he said I
right.
to me that would make the most sense, and that's why you don't there's no info or anything. BK never talks about the case as far as we know. His family is relatively quiet on everything, and
Very.
that's why they're completely quiet. Once I'll actually be shocked if the leak investigation I mean, it could happen, but I seriously doubt that that will end and then we don't hear anything. And it's probably going to be, once that's over with, they're going to put in a motion to uh
Right.
get to remove the plea bargain. And then from there, then there's probably all different hearings that get scheduled back and forth and arguments. And that's, I guess, when the thing will be
Yeah.
over
Right.
Ray and IGG and this and that and all that stuff.
All
But
the other garbage will start falling
and
out
and
of the
by the
pan.
time and by the time they do all that, I believe isn't Hitler, isn't he he's done, right? As of January
I I
2027.
I think so.
Hitler probably won't even be the judge if there winds up
Well,
being a new trial.
here's the
Well,
thing. If it depends on what happens. If it does
Right,
roll over
right.
in an appeal process, I think it would have to go to an appellate court. And if not, I don't know if it would have to be retried. If they took it back to trial, possibly or whatever, in front of him, I don't know how that's going to work either because I have a lot of questions. I'm going to get in, try to get
Yeah.
together with Ron Funk again and talk about how they could work through all that stuff. Truly,
Well,
So
right. No, he would be the best one to ask. I don't think the resolution is going to be that the appellate court just would would vacate and say,
no,
oh, that's it. I believe,
unless
I
they
know, but
come
it would
down
be
with
good.
some big
Right,
bomb. Yeah.
right. I believe it'll be up to probably the state again to bring charges on him.
Right, right. And it's Sausage just said beyond the leak, they have a bigger problem, the prosecutorial misconduct of including
Yes,
the
yes,
deposition of a material witness when you have evidence of her phone record showing she's lying. I mean, that's new evidence. Think about that.
yes,
That is new
yes.
evidence, folks. And if they bring that to the table, this is my opinion, of course. And I may be wrong. I may be reading this wrong, but if they bring that to the table, in my opinion, that could roll this. If they can prove If they can prove, because there's another thing that was brought up that I thought was really interesting. Josiah Roloff, we talked about this slightly before, was going to be put on the stand by the by the defense, and
Right.
was basically going to try to prove that the conversations between Dylan and her father were going on via Snapchat or whatever. And what was that conversation, Mr. Mortensen? What were you and your daughter talking about that night that had to be deleted, that we had to go find an expert to try to retrieve those messages? What was that conversation about? Truly and honestly, because it was way more than that little statement that was made. When can I call you and talk to you for 10 or 15 minutes? Nobody believes that. That's absolute bullshit.
So I did ask Grok about the appeal process.
Eddie should love that.
So it says in the Koberger case, since he took a plea deal back in 2025, he waived his right to a direct appeal on the convictions and the sentences. That means no standard trip to the Idaho Supreme Court challenge the guilty plea itself.
Yeah.
The evidence of yada yada yada. Still, Idaho law and the U.S. Supreme Court ruling from 2019 called Garza v. Idaho says waivers aren't ironclad, and he could try some of these paths. First is the post-conviction relief. The second, he might file an appeal, which that's already passed. And then third, if there's federal stuff like constitutional violations, he could go habeas corpus in federal court, but that's way down the line because he needs to exhaust all state remedies first.
I don't think it's going to be habeas corpus, and he can't file a regular appeal. That's right. The time limit's up. I do think his path is the post conviction relief. And if you look up, if you do a search in there on the like what are reasons that you could file for post conviction relief. I know there's like a whole bunch of them. One of them right away I know is not being allowed to use an expert.
Right.
On your defense. So there's the Cy one. Then you have the one, then you also, which I think is just, which you were just talking about the other day, Dago, which I think is equal to the Cy almost, is this Vargas woman.
The intimidation.
Which is huge.
Issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they can prove that there was witness intimidation done or anything like that, I would imagine that they can go after that. They did not allow an expert witness to speak in behalf of the defense, which is, again, it to me, it falls under the not allowing the defense to defend their client. I think there's a way that can fit that. You know what I mean?
Right. And the argument would be against Hitler there because he was the one that wouldn't allow him to, so I'm sure that they probably would do everything they could to not have Hitler be the judge. But I don't even think, to be honest, this stuff gets, with the way these things go and how long this shit takes, by the time all this stuff is filed and everything, I don't think Hitler is even going to be there anyway.
Hopefully not. But yeah, ineffective assistance to counsel is what I was trying to lean towards, based on the fact that they weren't allowing the defense to counsel their client per se. And I don't know if it would work that way or not, but that's how I saw it.
Didn't Ann Taylor even bring that up herself?
Yeah.
That came out of her own mouth that it was she was basically, I believe Ann Taylor was throwing the breadcrumbs the whole time for this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she said that, at least once or twice I heard her say that.
Yes. Listen.
And
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I know there are some different times where I really wish that Ann Taylor had argued more. And that's why it's interesting to hear, like, the custody queens and some other people who are lawyers, like, or like Allie, that Lee has on, like, what did they feel? And she definitely, I think Ann Taylor is smarter than some people really think she is.
Definitely.
Because she was aware of the 7 minute and whatever it is, 26 seconds missing. She was aware of a lot of this stuff.
Right,
So
right. Well, I'm going to show you. Some of you have seen it. I'm not just showing you this because I'm in it. In fact, I hate the fact that I'm in it. But this is something that I recorded this past week with Andrew Myers, and I believe this could be something that may help this. Okay, I've been thinking on this a lot. Andrew obviously has his thoughts, and that's why I'm showing you. I'll kind of skip through it to certain points when we have to, but I joined Andrew and Yoli on their show a while back, and we discussed this, and he makes a couple points that are interesting to me. One of the main points, and you guys will catch it, but yeah, we're gonna scrub through this quickly.
Look at that handsome devil.
I know Andrew's a good looking dude, isn't he?
I was about to say Andago.
Yeah, it ain't me. It definitely ain't me. Definitely. It's funny because it looks like I'm wearing the same type of shirt that I had on that day too. That's wild.
But before you get going, I do have a question though.
Yeah.
What do you think Ann Taylor, if all else fails, would be able to use the 227 camera as new evidence and say, hey, I was given 52 terabytes of data and I got 2 other people to work with?
Maybe. That could be. That definitely could be. That's a good point, Dylan. I think anything that has never been anything that was not put on record the first time is new evidence as far as I'm on my understanding. Okay.
Because if you go by the 227 ring camera, that completely destroys the prosecution's theory that Koberger was the perpetrator,
right?
Using the phone, because his phone was at home at 227.
Yeah. Good point. Very good point. Well, let's check this out here. Like I said, I'll scrub through it. I won't force you to watch me twice in the same day at 2 different times. Talk as much as I do.
Yeah,
so.
We know you're self-absorbed.
Shut up.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well. And joining us, I'm attorney Andrew Myers. This is About the Law. We have a special guest this time, Dago.
Immediately again.
Much happening at that point. There was just so much happening at that point that it kind of went by the boards. And Dago, you did an episode on this, and it really stood out in my mind. Why did you go back to that and do an episode on that now?
I've had I get emails constantly about the case repeatedly. Again, what about this? What about that? Dago, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this could be a thing? So I look at everything. Pretty much anybody in my community asks me about, I try to go there for it. And I think I titled that one that day. It was there misconduct on the prosecution side in the Idaho 4 case? So we started looking into it. We looked into, Bill Thompson, so on and so forth. And one of my subscribers had remembered that Gabriela Vargas had testified the same day that Vicka Barlow first did, when she first came around. And again, I believe that we had talked about this before. Yoli was in chat with us that day as well, as we were watching the episode when Gabriela testified that day, it was an interesting testimony, so on and so forth. And then there shortly after, there was a bit of an incident that went down. And that's what somebody had asked me if I had heard about that. They were newer to the case. And I said, yeah, we did cover something like that, so on and so forth. Went back, looked through some of my stuff, found it, and we went back to it and kind of just redid a whole thing on it. And it just kind of re-sparked it all for me, because it had been a while. If I can't remember exactly how long ago we covered it, but it's a couple of years, I believe.
3 years, I think.
Yeah, it was a while back. Yeah. And it just like re-sparked all that. So it started making me think, what else is going on here? If they're able to do stuff like this, it makes you wonder how much other stuff like that has been done too, And
there was supposed to be a motion that Ann Taylor was supposed to file about that.
Yeah. And that is, Yoli made another good point. I had forgot about that whole motion that Ann was going to file, and nothing ever came of that from what I can remember. I'm still curious about that, and I would like to know why. There's got to be a decent reason for it. So I'm curious. I don't know if it was because of the time or what it was, but there was definitely an interest in that. Just, I know that's a little off subject, but I just wanted to throw that in there too.
And she said that she had planned to file a motion on that issue and have a hearing, but nothing ever became of it.
Never happened. And I wonder if it's because of what that was about.
Let's take a look at some of her testimony and see if we can pick out what it was that she said that the prosecution said, oh, wait a minute, we got to do something about this, because let's take a look at
as a normal tire matches. When you input that
whole thing, in my opinion, with this.
And, you know, they even said, the FBI even said that they violated their policy. I mean, I believe that not the FBI, but I believe Bill Thompson, I mean, it was acknowledged in the paperwork that, yes, the policy was violated, but that's not against the law.
Well, and early on, if you two remember, early on in the case, the FBI had come forth and said, don't use this. Don't use this. People were questioning where their work was, you know, why it wasn't shown, this and that. And they're like, yeah, here's what we did, but don't use this. I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, I think Dawn Daniels was the one that put it in. She was from Washington State University. Oh, no, yeah. She was from Pullman. She was from Pullman. And I believe Dawn Daniels put that there was some genetic DNA, IgG stuff done, but not to rely on this for the probable cause or something related to that. And, you know, it's so hard because so many things happen in this case. It's so hard to remember everything. Yeah. And so if I'm misspeaking, anybody, please let me know. But that's what I recall.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And you're right. I mean, this deserves to be looked at again, because you're right. There was just so much that happened. There was so much that was compressed into those hearings, and it went so fast. And there was so much that was being sealed that, you know, when these things happened, you know, it's worth going back. I agree 100%. Okay. So one of the things that she said was that, you know, you get the person's DNA. Law enforcement would give her the DNA, and there are just so many different sites that she can put it in. And she described, you know, and this is probably one of the reasons why this went by, because it is a little bit confusing, but she said that it's a multi-step process, and she explained it.
So initially, if I am putting my subject's DNA in the system, I don't know who it belongs to. I put their kit number in. You get a kit number after you upload the data. Okay. I put the kit number in. I run a tool called One2Many, and it's going to show the top 500 matches that this subject has. I then would go to utilize the manipulation tool, the loophole. You would then go click the top match and run their matches. So the top match of your subject's top match, you would run their matches. Okay. Once you run their matches, there is a tool that allows you to edit that list of matches. So we're looking at the matches of the subject's top relative, not the subject's matches.
You guys following this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You edit the kit list. If you put the subject's kit number into this tool that you're going to now analyze these matches, it tricks the system and allows you to see matches that you wouldn't have seen if you ran your initial match list.
Mm.
And those can be people that did not agree with law enforcement to see their DNA. Those matches that are revealed are only matches that have been opted out. Those matches are only the ones they're only the ones. If you see that the subject matches one of these people, because again, you're not looking at your subject's matches, you're looking at that person's top cousin, let's say, that top cousin's matches, right? When you put your subject's kit number in there, you're going to see now his kit, her kit, compared against the matches of their top match.
Okay, so welcome back up here, Eddie. Must have fallen out the window. Here's my situation with this. Okay, as I was listening to this again, I have a question that I need to ask an attorney now that I've been thinking about this. Maybe Ron would be able to do this. If Let me say something here. If the defense were to take an affidavit from Gabriela Vargas that after she makes this testimony, the FBI is sent to her house and there's a conversation that's got some form of intimidation factor. Could that or could that not be thrown at this case and them say, wait a minute, hold on. You sent FBI agents, because this was commissioned supposedly by Bill Thompson, to an expert witness's house that was testifying for the defense. Could that or should that not be new evidence as to tampering? In turn, couldn't that roll the case? Again, this is a question I have that I need to ask an attorney, I'm sure, but it's something in my I've been thinking about ever since we did this the other day, and it makes me wonder if it's proven, and pretty much all that you need to do is sit down and talk to Gabriella and say, hey, what happened, what was said, and why, and then go from there. That would be my opinion, because now you're witness tampering. Okay, we already know there was jury tampering and they didn't throw the case for that, but now we have witness tampering. And Andrew says here shortly, and I'm not going to play through the rest of it, I just wanted to show that point. Okay, he says, so if this happened, it makes you wonder if it happened anywhere else within this case. Were there other witnesses that could have been threatened or tampered with?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, because if they're ballsy enough to go do this and then they didn't even hide it, they just did it right out in the open. How many other people did they do this with? We all know who Molly McMichaels is. She comes in, she makes a statement, and then she retracts it all of a sudden, and here we sit. So it makes you wonder, okay? And I'm not saying, I know that doesn't make sense to go the direction I'm going. I'm just saying. I just wanted to point that out. That's all I'm saying.
At minimum, it would be witness tampering, but and especially with Molly McMichael, you would be able to. I think you'd be able to escalate that to witness intimidation.
I can agree. Sorry about that. I can agree. Definitely.
I'd like to know a little bit more history on Bill Thompson too. I know we have some people who are trying.
Logan has been diving on him like heck
yeah,
first. So,
because I'd like to know, you know, how many times has Molly been used, or how many times has he used some kind of other so-called informant?
How many other witnesses in other cases has Bill caused intimidation factors?
Right. And the bottom line, I mean, how long has he been doing this? What is it, 20 years?
30.
30 years? So in 30 years, and he has only just a handful of cases there. I mean,
right.
I would bet anything there's a whole load of fuckery.
Absolutely. Take care, Miss Mamakins. Absolutely, bud. Absolutely. Dylan or Eddie, any thoughts on any of that at all?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's super interesting. That
right. Jen says,
okay.
How was Brian supposed to defend himself if the leakers were on the stand and Ann Taylor not only not knowing who they are? How can Brian face his
Dago, you're muted.
I'm muted?
No, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you might have to go out and come back in, Eddie. But again, this is a good question that Jen is asking. How is Brian supposed to defend himself if the leakers were on the stand and Ann not know who they are? How can Brian face the accusers if the FBI redacted their names when they tipped his name? That's a great question, actually.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think he had no other choice but to take that plea. There was no,
Agreed.
he had nothing. He was no other way, and that bought Ann Taylor a huge amount of time to put even more of this
Yeah.
info together. And there's, you know, just just us like talking off the cusp. We probably could name 10 things that he could, file.
Right.
So I'm sure there's even more. We haven't even what I think the final like documents and stuff are due. It goes all the way to, I believe, December of 2027, right?
Yeah,
So
I think
who knows? We're still waiting for the actual full autopsy.
we have a lot more coming, in my opinion. Glitch, Audrey from Glitch, great channel, by the way. You guys need to go check her out. She does amazing stuff over there. She's asking, did Vargas just say a match of the top match doesn't seem like the right match? Wrong branch. What it sounds like, isn't this what Larkin said too? Wrong branch? Yes, it does. That's how I took it. Audrey, I agree.
Now, you can take this part with a grain of salt because I play around with Grok a lot when it comes to
Yeah.
this case.
Uh-huh.
But
Good question, Sluther. Right. Go ahead, bud.
but I asked Grok about the actual the actual DNA on the knife sheath,
Uh-huh.
and it said that it was such a perfect match that it is 1 in 1 million that it would match that well. And it was equivalent to swabbing one side of the cheek to the other. And I pretty much asked I asked it how like
Rock is a guilter.
well you got to ask the right questions and set the right parameters.
Yeah, I'm just teasing. I know.
But yeah, it pretty much said that like it's movie style, the kind of way that it was dropped in their lap.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost it's one of those too good to be true.
Sure.
Because of how cleanly of a match that it was. So
that makes perfect sense. It definitely does. So I get what you're I see what you're saying. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find the exact odds of it here in a minute.
Now, there's one more thing I wanted to show you guys, to share with you, that Harsh put out this morning. I think it was this morning. Yeah, it was this morning. That I thought was really interesting. And we've already had this conversation. I just want to throw this into the mix with everything else we've talked about and make it a full deal show with this, because we're about done anyway. And this video is very short, so we'll be done after this. Interesting as all hell. And again, this is a conversation we've had. I just like the way that Harsh here has presented this. So let's check it out real quick. And then I want your guys' quick thoughts on this as well. And then I promise I will let you go. Looks like 1-1 just jumped out the window. It's okay, 1-1. It's not that serious. Looks like Eddie jumped out the window as well.
I'm still here. I haven't jumped yet.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So I found the number. And the odds of having that clean of a match, according to Grok, and this is Grok using news sites and YouTube and Reddit, it is 5.37 octillion times.
Gotcha.
So it is.
That's pretty. That's crazy.
So yeah, it was.
Welcome back, 1-1.
Yeah, it's such a.
That's a wide. That's a wide range.
Yeah, that's the odds of being able to hit a DNA sample that cleanly.
Yeah, and the point that he was making, guys, is it's like the whole "it's too good to be true." Well, that means it usually is not true. Okay, if it's too good to be true, it usually isn't. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yeah, Yeah, when you get that email from that Saudi prince promising $1 million if you give him 5,000.
Yeah,
Don't do
right.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The odds just don't line up. Exactly. Good point. Welcome back, Eddie. Can you hear me now, bud?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but I just dropped myself out because I
probably
can hear both Dylan and 1-1 and not you.
It's probably StreamYard's been doing weird shit like for weeks. So, and Jennifer says, "Hail, Dago. We all learned in kindergarten if it's too good to be true, it probably is." Yeah, right. Agreed. All right, so let's listen to this real quick. This is about the sheath, folks. Which we've all had this conversation many different directions. I just like the way he's presenting this today because I think this is a good pop off to what we've talked about today.
Well, you beautiful, beautiful, amazing, wonderful people. I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. This video is going to be quite an important video because I think I found an issue. And I say I think because it's like everything. I'm not saying that I'm 100%, but from what I can see and what I can find, I believe that I'm right. And if I am, it could change what you believe around the Idaho 4 case. And specifically, the one seemingly, I don't know, the piece of evidence that would be why Brian Kohberger sits in prison to this day, if you take away the fact that he likely pled guilty because he didn't want to die. But there was a knife sheath. There was a knife sheath that was apparently left at the scene of this crime, and they tied that knife sheath by DNA to Brian Kohberger. Now, they would later go on to tell us that Brian Kohberger purchased this K-bar knife along with a sharpener, and he would later go back to apparently buy another one, a replacement, from Amazon. Amazon US, obviously. And we've not, to this day, seen definitive proof that that happened. We've just been told that it happened. And
which is very true. There still has never, ever, welcome, Tomboy, ever been a receipt shown. Never. No receipt. So take it for what it is. Can you hear me, Tomboy?
Say,
yes, you can. Okay.
And they say, trust us. We wouldn't lead you astray.
Of course. Right. Yeah. I hate when they say that too. Trust us. Trust the process. We got it. Yeah.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure somewhere in amongst their documentation, it may be buried somewhere, who knows? But this is the issue that I have, because I typed in to search the K-bar knife sheath, a knife that Brian Kohberger purchased or had apparently purchased from Amazon yesterday, to just do a little bit of research, because obviously in amongst all of these 3,000 pictures that have recently come out, we finally got to see the elusive K-bar knife sheath that was left at the crime scene. And something stood out to me, and something was niggling away at me. So on the screen, you're going to see a series of pictures. First of all, we need to take a look at Amazon itself, Amazon US.
1,001%, meaning that should have been one of the first things they showed and said, here it is. This is proof that he brought it. There's his name. There's his account. There it is. They didn't even attempt to show us one.
US and the K-bar knife sheath that matches up to the ASIN number, which is the part number that they claim is the one that Brian Kohberger purchased.
Exactly.
And what you will see when you look at this is that it's a US Marine Corps knife. It's a K-bar knife sheath.
Is off.
And it looks to me, even though
that's what he's going to point that out too, because you see how the stamp here is right on top of stitching, but on that side it's not.
It's off center.
And when you see the other one, guess what? No. Just saying.
Hey, Dale, real quick.
Yes, sir.
It also
Go ahead.
looks plastic.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good, bud. That's why
but
you're
it's
here.
kind of an important to what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So Sausage mentioned the branch.
Right. The DNA
then,
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Leah Story asked the question, what is meant by that? And that's a good question. Maybe some people don't know. And also, Sausage mentioned that there's a really comprehensive breakdown with that explained in Pavarotti's video.
Yeah.
Now, maybe there's other videos. I see Glitch DNA is here with us today. If anybody, I'm sure, has covered it, possibly, that might be another one. I don't know, but I have seen it on Pav's video. And if that is necessary to bring people up to speed as to what is meant by that, then maybe, if we're going to explore this deeper, that might be worth taking a look at. I don't know.
Yeah, we covered a few of Audrey's videos in the past where she was talking about that over the past few months, so on and so forth, because she's brought out quite a bit of information, and we actually had her on the show. We discussed some of this stuff, but it is important. It is important to understand. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm still struggling. I get it, but I don't get it. This whole DNA branch thing, it doesn't really truly make full sense. If you don't get into that kind of stuff, if you don't follow it and you don't look at it, it doesn't make sense, folks. It just doesn't make sense. They make the excuse, well, we go up one side and we came back down the other, and it goes off to another branch off of the other side, and it doesn't match this way, but it matches that way. What?
Diego, thanks for saying that. That they're banking on that because you have some of these channels that just say it in general terms, like they found his DNA on the knife sheath, and that's enough. The general public, that's all they need to understand.
All they needed.
And now they know that, the smoking gun, there he is, he did it. But I also did not really have a grasp on it, but the way Pavarotti broke it down, I cannot say enough about it. I came away from that understanding it fully, and it's not a deep dive, and it's not like you need to put your thinking cap on. It is worth for us to emphasize that, to re-explore it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just suggest you can do what you want. It's your channel, but
no, you're right. It's a good point.
Go on a field trip and bring us all along, and just, even if it needs timestamps. I don't know what the video is anymore, how long it is, but if there's just a portion of it that needs to be shown so that information can kind of like grow legs or whatever, then that is, I think, a very useful tool.
Well, I was actually thinking, it's funny you said that, because I've been going backwards to some old stuff. I've been going back and revisiting stuff that we've looked at again and again. We have a lot of new people that have jumped into this case over the past 3 months. So I think it would be an amazing idea to go back and revisit in one form or fashion or another this DNA stuff so that people can understand what the hell they're telling people. And here's the thing, like Eddie just said, understand something, folks. They're banking on you not understanding it. They need you to not understand it, because at that point, if you don't understand it, they're not going to re-explain it in a way you can. They're just going to say, well, that's what it is. So I'm sorry you don't understand, but that's how we know. And it's real. So move on and just trust us, like they always say. So yeah, I think maybe here coming up, we should do another show on this very soon, and break down the whole DNA thing, have it explained. And that was a good video Paul put out. That's a fact. And if you listen to it that way there, the way it's explained, there's no way in hell they should have ever arrested this guy.
No.
Period. So I think it's a good idea.
I don't know about y'all, but I need the fucking picture page when it comes to this DNA.
Most people do. Most people do. And it's not your fault, Tomboy, because they explain it this way on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't even remotely try to find a layman's terms to explain this. They don't want you to understand it. They just want you to take it and run. That's it. Period.
They try to lull you to sleep.
And the question is too, like the video that Pav had showed, he basically lays out and he shows how the FBI, the DNA that they had was a completely different thread. It was a whole different line. The question is, why? So why did they allow it to go to Koberger then? What is the reason? Like if the FBI, if they know that the state, like, they're following the wrong thread, that the thread there that had the 4 brothers and that BK was in that same line, why did they allow it? What's the reason?
Right. Why was it allowed to be used? Why was it allowed to go by? So on and so forth. We know that there was some illegal stuff done in this aspect. So yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, I think it would make for a good show coming up here this week at some point to go back over all of that and try to put it in a more of a layman's terms, like I said, so that it's more understood, so that you guys can look at this and go, and even then, I don't think you're going to, but at that point, you can look at it and go either, okay, I get it now, but there at the same time, no. And like Audrey just said, 5.37 octillion is not an accurate representation of what was on the sheath. They used the wrong reference population.
Yeah.
And again, do what?
Octillion isn't even a number.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a point. That's the point, period. You know what I mean? That is the point, period, right there. And they know, in my opinion, of course, they know that everybody's going to look at this and go, huh? Okay. And nobody's going to challenge it because people don't want to feel stupid. People are just going to go, okay.
And another interesting point with that is that it seemed like Hitler didn't even care. It just, to him, like, you said DNA is there, like, touch the, it's not like, they're saying, they found, a blood sample of Koberger. They found some kind of fluid from Koberger. They found a fingerprint. It's touch DNA. It's not the same.
No, not even close.
This goes back to me thinking as to why they took 2 buccal swabs. They took one in Pennsylvania and one in Idaho. Why did they need 2?
That's a good question. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Why did they do anything they've done, Tomboy? Because it's all ridiculous.
Because it's fucking Idaho.
It's all part of the fuckery. Yeah.
Yeah.
But good point, Eddie. So yeah, that's something I notated it that I'll be doing that here coming up in the next probably few days. So, and we can break that down with that and a couple other things too. So that's a great idea. This is quite interesting.
I'm
sorry.
gonna need you to get out your whiteboard when you do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do. It's right there. No problem. But this was interesting to me because of what he points out, and we talked about this before, but it's just another creator looking at this saying, "Hey, look what I just saw." You know what I mean? So,
it almost looks like a reproduction because you've got the offset US Marine Corps badge that is over to one side; it isn't in the middle. And I think to myself, I'll show you in a second. But you look at it, take a good look at it. Uniformity in color all the way throughout. That's the one that Amazon does. That's it. That's the one. And now we need to go over to the one that was found at the crime scene. And it looks different, doesn't it? The color is different. You'll see the actual embossments on this one are darker than the leather that's around it. Could be a natural patina, perhaps. Who knows? That's what I thought. Initially, I thought natural patina. But then I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to look at the difference between, say, an Amazon reproduction K-bar knife for the general public to purchase and one that is issued specifically by the military, an actual military US Marine Corps K-bar. And what did I find? Well, I found that when you take, and again, you're going to see it on the screen, a genuine given by the US military or the military US Marine Corps K-bar knife, it just happens to pretty much identically look like the one that they're saying they found at 1122 King Road. The colors match. The darker leather gradient within the embossment matches, even down to the stitching, where the stitching goes, and the bottom pin right at the bottom of the sheath. It's actually on the outside of the stitching on the two genuine ones, or what I'm calling two genuine ones, because I believe that the one that was found at 1122 King Road was not, in fact, one that was purchased from Amazon, but was likely one that originated from the military. I believe that the knife sheath that you are looking at is one that, again, that came directly from a life inside the military, given to someone by a military person, an individual with a military history, say. I want you to tell me what you think. And again, I'm not saying that I'm 100% correct, because we can't, I don't think any of us can 100% say that we're correct, but I can only go by what I see. And I think that you would agree by looking at what you can see with respect, and I'll put them on the screen one more time, the Amazon US Marine Corps K-bar knife sheath doesn't look anything like the knife sheath, apart from the markings, obviously, and the fact that it's the shape of a knife blade. But the aesthetics of it, they don't match. They simply don't match. They look different. But when you take a look at the genuine article, one that was issued by the military, lo and behold, you have near enough an identical match. Again, the leather color, the embossments have moved, so they're no longer offset to one side. They're actually aligned in the middle. They just look like more care and attention has been put within the putting these together for the military. The pin at that bottom end, again, being on the outside of that stitching, not on the inside as it's seen on the Amazon version. So what does it mean? Well, it means that, look, Brian Kohberger didn't have a military background, so they had to kind of explain where this knife and the sheath came from. Maybe this knife sheath was indeed found at the scene. So they had to concoct some story of Brian Kohberger buying one. And the realism is Brian Kohberger may have bought one. He may have bought one. He was an outdoorsman. He would go out hiking, jogging at night. And maybe he did buy one. Maybe this is just a case of, look, the evidence is mounting and that scale started to tip. And you can't explain it because maybe he lost it. Maybe he lost it. Let's not forget, when they were searching, they were still searching for a knife sheath. They were still searching for a knife. Maybe they were just looking for the second weapon that they always thought had been used. But it just also, and I hate to say this, we have an ex-military individual on the peripheral of this crime. And I'm not saying that, look, it's a difficult one. And I know people get stressed out when you say it. But law enforcement seem to be quite convinced that whoever did this crime isn't going to all of a sudden stand up and say, you've got the wrong man. You've got the wrong man, or that something's going to come of it. And I just think you don't expect a dead man to drop you in the shit. But Brent Kopacker was ex-military with an interest in knives. He was executed by law enforcement under suspicious circumstances, with stories and tales around his death from people who claim to have known him, who said that he was being badgered by James Fry, near enough on a daily basis, that would eventually push him over the edge. He apparently held his roommates at hostage, roommates who we've never ever seen, but statements being made that there was comments made about roommates. Who knows what he really was trying to say that day. But look, the guy was a military hero. But like I've said before, military heroes can fall. If they've experienced things that only you or I can, we just couldn't fathom. We haven't been there. We haven't seen it. We don't know the damage it can do. But we've seen them spiral. We've seen them spiral. And look, all I'm saying is this knife sheath that they're saying was left at 1122 King Road, and that they're telling us that Brian Koberger purchased this knife sheath off of Amazon, from what I can see of it, that doesn't look like the one that you can buy from Amazon. And as aforementioned, it looks like one that is military issue. Who would have a military issue proper K-bar knife sheath? Maybe Brian did. But then why say he bought it off Amazon? Because perhaps they just know that he did buy something off Amazon, even though they haven't been able to show us the proof to back that claim up. Something's off here. Let me know down below what you think. Love you all, and I will catch you all in the next one. Mwah.
All right. Very interesting take on that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it means anything, guys. It's just something I wanted to share. That's all.
Right. The only thing I'd say with that is remember that this happened in 2022. So you have to remember sometimes when you buy stuff as well, things, because you get that knife, you order that knife sheath now and it doesn't look like that. We need to know what the knife sheath looked like when it was bought from Amazon at that time, which we can't really, which we really can't go back in time and check, obviously, because sometimes, different things get updated or so just because it doesn't look like it exactly right now, that's not definitive proof.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I want to give you guys an update to that situation we saw earlier going on in Latah County.
Yeah, what was that about?
MPD currently assisting in Latah County Sheriff's Office update. As of 1:25 p.m. this afternoon, Carmichael Road is now open. Our deputies responded to a domestic dispute this morning and now have one person in custody. This is still an active investigation. We cannot release more information at this time. We would like to think now, pay attention to this, okay? Pay attention to this. And this is kind of important in relation to the Idaho court case. And you'll know why when I say it. Okay? So we would like to thank Moscow Police Department, Pullman Police Department, WSU Police Department, and Whitman County Sheriff's Office for their help with this incident. You guys heard who I just named. Moscow, Pullman, WSU, and Whitman County. All four of them working together. So I was also sent a photograph of this showing what was a SWAT vehicle sitting there on standby. So just saying. I just wanted to give the update on that. As of now, they have the situation under control, as we all knew they would. Yay. WSU police, Pullman police, and Moscow PD, as well as Whitman County, were all working together on this. Interestingly enough. So there's that. That's the update thus far. That's what they're telling us, at least. As we all know, we don't always get the full truth from that. The timestamp on that was listed at 6 hours ago, 1:25 p.m. So that's the date on it listed was as of today when Meg sent me the first one. If I can find it. Hold on, you guys. Sorry. There is no date on it, but I was sent a photograph. Give me 1 minute. Where'd it go? Who sent me the photograph? Which one of you guys sent me that picture? Anyway, it showed the SWAT team sitting there. I can't remember exactly who sent it to me. It's interesting, though. Nothing happens in Moscow, folks. Remember that. Nothing ever happens. So, Mr. Dylan, Eddie, 1-1, I want to thank you all three of you that I make four, for joining us today as we went through this great show. Eddie, thank you for the presentation. Kat sent it to me. That's right, Kat. Thank you. There it is. Here, guys, let me show you what it looked like real fast, just to give you a little visual. This is, and if you look at the vehicle, it's Pullman on the side of the vehicle. Can I blow this up? Yeah, I can. Here we go. Pullman police. This is their SWAT vehicle. Same thing that they had on scene when Brent was shot. We see the guys in their military garb, and this is the standoff on Carmichael Road, so on and so forth. So that's what was going on today. Nothing ever happened. There's a sheriff's vehicle there, and there's other out and around. So nothing ever happens in these areas, guys. Nothing. We all know that. Good to see you, Jamie. So anyway,
so much nothing that they have to have their own SWAT vehicle.
Yeah. Good point. Dylan, do you have any last words before we exit today? Anything you want to throw out there for everybody?
Go Dogs.
I'm not responding to you. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
I got nothing else for today.
No worries, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Always appreciate your time, effort, and opinions, thoughts, and theories in here. And Mr. 11 Captain at the NYPD, sir, how are you? Thank you for joining us. And any last thoughts for you, sir?
Yeah, great stuff. I look forward to seeing everyone later on joining us on Devil's Advocates.
Crimes After Dark, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Always a great conversation. It is Monday, so Lee will be there, and we should be full force. I'm looking forward to it, too. Thank you, 11, for joining us today and for your input, thoughts, feelings, and opinions, as always. And, of course, Eddie, great presentation.
Yes, I do, and thanks for asking.
Of course.
But before I ask, or before I share my thoughts to leave everyone with, I have a quick question about, speaking of your college football team.
Mine or his?
Yours.
I am an Alabama fan. Yes, sir.
That's Alabama. Okay. That's the Crimson Tide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't follow football much.
Right.
I know enough to be dangerous, and I really don't follow college. So that's why I'm asking. So let me ask you this. Who's the nemesis of Alabama?
Auburn.
What about Indiana?
Purdue. Purdue is the arch rival for Indiana.
Oh, I mean, is the nemesis of Alabama Indiana?
No.
They are Auburn.
Okay. All right.
That's their arch nemesis. There's a couple others because Alabama's so good that most people hate them. But especially Georgia. People who like Georgia know that they anyway, I won't go there. I'll be nice. But Auburn.
Want to replay the SEC title game?
I'm not talking about that with you. Shut up. Anyway.
The only reason I ask it is because during my 4 months hiatus off this case, I could have sworn I saw an article where it was a surprise loss. I guess Alabama lost to.
It probably was
Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Am I right in that? Do I recall that?
Yeah, in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that was a huge surprise.
And I thought of you immediately.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a big surprise if you were following.
For me.
Well, for me, it was that big of a surprise. I was a little surprised by how bad Indiana beat Alabama, but as far as just like the domination, I wasn't super surprised.
That's because he has that G on his forehead, Eddie. That's why.
But
I know ball.
So
he
yeah,
actually knows what he's talking about. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. This is what he does. So you got to take his word on it. He's actually, as much as it pains me to say it, he knows what he's talking about. Facts are facts. So anyway,
but I'll leave everyone with this. Sometimes those closest to the crime are those who you can trust the least, such as, like we talked about today, the
right.
family. We wanted to trust them so much early on, and it turns out that they betrayed our trust.
And truly, folks, we should have been able to trust them in any circumstance that's normal. Usually you should be able to. I'll say that.
Yeah, and calling victims of the deceased liars is nearly impossible.
Right. It is. It's something nobody wants to do. Nobody. But facts are facts.
But thanks again for a great show, Dago.
Yes,
and
sir.
everybody.
Yes, sir. Thank
Thanks
you
for having me up.
for bringing it here. I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon, hopefully.
Mostly I just nod and smile, but
right. Hopefully you'll be joining us when I do this DNA thing. I think it's important. It was your idea. It's a great idea. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well. And hopefully we'll see you again soon, sir. Always happy to see you.
All right.
1-1 again. Thank you. I'll be seeing you this evening. Always great insight with you and Dylan. Absolute appreciation for your thoughts, feelings, opinions on true crime and true crime alone.
If we're doing this tomorrow, I'll be here. I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, buddy. I look forward to it. Thank you very much.
To you,
All
everybody.
right, guys.
Have a great evening.
Yes. Everybody in chat, guys, you are amazing. I love the interaction, the intelligence levels with all you guys. I have the best community on this platform. Sorry, but I do. You guys are so very smart, so very interactive, and we do appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you to my moderators, whom I would not exist without. You guys are amazing. Anybody that chose to support us via donations of any sort whatsoever, never expected, folks, but always appreciate it. Keeps us going. Don't forget to love yourselves, folks, and love each other, and don't change nothing, because you guys truly are the beautiful people, and we'll see you very soon, folks. Bye-bye.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture of what they chose to do. The quiet street erupts in flashing light. A reckoning delivered in the night. SWAT serves the warrant, loud and clear. The sound of justice, the only thing we hear. Cafe's empty, closed for the night. We put the darkness back into the light. We'll wipe the counter, set the empty chair, and wait right here for the next secret laid bare. Until the next one.